Hello everybody, I'm Thomas. Welcome back to another Solo Gaming Sunday stream. This week, playing some Starforged. Gonna play this last week, but kind of got a little sick, so I really want to try to give it another go. Starforged is this really cool space RPG where go around doing space stuff. I will do a quick rules explanation. It's not too complicated of a game, especially compared to like something like D&D. What's nice is that it is made for solo play. This is Starforged. It's based on another game called Ironsworn. The full name of the game is Ironsworn Starforged. Ironsworn is really cool. I have yet to play that, but I've heard really good things. I believe it's free, so I think you could download the PDF at least, whatnot for it for free. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this. Hello there, KDK. Happy Sunday to you too. Appreciate you stopping by. About to get into the rules explanation here in a hot bit for some Starforged. I'm looking forward to playing this. I've been playing it a decent amount recently. I have now like 2 different groups I'm playing with, which has been pretty fun. That I've played at least in the past. I did a little bit of a campaign here and there, but I've had a lot of fun playing it. I have a kind of a character idea. I'll maybe go into a little bit more when I get to the actual character creation. But besides that, I pretty much have no idea what's going to happen today. I'm just going to use, the random tables and whatnot in the system to generate random stuff and kind of see what happens. Hey, Thomas Dole. Appreciate it. Yes, I am feeling much better. I don't get sick often, but I don't know what happened, but it hit me bad on Sunday. But luckily, it was like once I slept it off, like it was all good. So I'm back better than ever. At my desk, which is weird. I normally am streaming in front of my table, and I have like my big dining room tables, so it's weird. Sometimes I do a couple of videos here at my desk, but it's weird streaming here. But that's because today I'm going to be using Foundry Virtual Tabletop as the system just to show stuff, to roll tables. There's a very cool module that you can get, which I've downloaded, so you can have all the stuff right here for generating a planet, a new settlement. It's got all the Oracle tables just built into it, so it's really nice. This module is free, so it's a really nice thing to have and pretty straightforward to use, especially once you mess around with it a bit. So that's what I'll be using today. I like Foundry a lot. I used it in my recent video with Mythic, and I mean, I like Foundry. It's my go-to virtual tabletop, and I mean, there's definitely there's pros and cons, I guess, of playing digitally or playing physically, but especially with this, there's a lot of just like quick things for planets, and it's a lot easier to track stuff, I think. So hopefully it'll go good for today. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of get into the rules explanation. I'm gonna kind of try to keep it pretty light. I'm gonna skim through kind of the basic rules. I'm gonna maybe try to take like no more than like 10 minutes maybe to explain everything. I'm gonna read a couple of the flavor texts along the way. Hopefully you can see the PDF. Looks like you should be able to. Yeah, it's got the cool cover. Very Star Wars inspired. There's this little bit in there about some of the inspirations I'll go over. But it says here, Starforged, you are a spaceborne hero sworn to undertake perilous quests. You will explore uncharted space, unravel the secrets of a mysterious galaxy, and build bonds with those you meet on your travels. Most importantly, you will swear iron vows and see them fulfilled, no matter the cost. So that's kind of one of the main concept, is being someone who is iron sworn. You swear like an iron vow, which is a very sacred thing in this world. So yeah, let's just talk about it's like its own standalone thing. Kind of just jumping around what you need to play. You don't actually need that many dice compared to like, and maybe some RPGs you don't, but like this you just need 2d10 and a d6. That's pretty much it. Maybe another pair for Oracle dice, but obviously I'll be using Foundry, so I could just have all the dice digitally with that. So here we go. I'll read the little tones and inspirations. So Starforged is a human-centric science fiction on a perilous frontier. This is a scavenged future with equipment often cobbled together from salvage. People cling to survival on inhospitable worlds and in remote space stations. Much has been forgotten or lost. It's a dangerous life for anyone living in this frontier, and doubly so for the Ironsworn, those adventurers bound to sworn quests. Inspiration comes from the quest-driven stories of The Mandalorian, the lived-in aesthetics and fantasy-infused trappings of the original Star Wars trilogy, the workaday exploits of Firefly, the isolated horror of Alien, the mysticism and faction politics of Dune, the retro tech and desperation of Battlestar Galactica's modern reboot, the cosmic mysteries and class struggles of The Expanse, and the gonzo and fanatic locations of Guardians of the Galaxy. So, a lot of inspirations that this game pulls from. I guess that's called the systems game. It draws a lot of inspiration. So a bit about the setting, about the world that this takes place in. Like, I'll move a little bit closer. Okay. The adventure is set within this place called the Forge. This is a globular cluster in orbit around your people's home galaxy. It's 1,700 light years above the galactic plane, a bright island in a dark void. Interstellar nebula span the depths of the Forge, interspersed with dense clouds of vibrant interplanetary dust and strange energies. It is a chaotic galaxy racked by fiery storms and unpredictable gravitational currents. The planets and stars of this place are born of that chaos. People come from the Forge 2 centuries ago in the wake of a cataclysm. Today, this new home offers opportunity and peril. Remnants of ancient civilizations hold dangerous knowledge and forbidden power. Your people build settlements on new worlds, but those places are often a safe haven. Conflicts rage between people and factions. Pirates prowl the spaceways in search of easy prey. Baneful creatures and dark forces dwell on corrupted planets and in the abyss between stars. So a little bit about the Forge, a couple of just different areas. Terminus is kind of just the main hotspot for where people are located, factions, spaceborne travelers have like charted paths here in Terminus. And Outlands is just a little bit further out. Definitely not as many settlements there. Settlements are scattered. Navigational paths often uncharted. Expanse is a little bit further out, even more isolated, disconnected, unsettled area. And then you got the Void. So got a cool little picture here. This is kind of the Void outside, and then different areas, Terminus, and that's where the Forge is located. So pretty cool PDF. So that's a bit of the setting. I'm gonna go real quick. Like I said, just kind of skim the mechanics and how to actually play. So Starforged is a game. Good to know. These various mechanics. So, I mean, this is the main, kind of gameplay loop, I guess you could call it. So, I mean, envision the fiction of what you want. The mechanics take over and resolve an outcome, mainly when something's uncertain, and then you apply the outcome to the situation. Having played both Starforged and D&D, do you prefer the fantasy setting or the sci-fi setting? It's a good question. I mean, this is the first sci-fi RPG I've played, so it is very, I know there's a lot of that genre. There's the Pathfinder one, and there's a bunch of other ones, but this is the first space RPG, and it's very different, so I like it a lot. I'm a big tech guy, so I mean, anything like technology, space, I dig, so it's different. I don't know if I like it more, because I like just the classic fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that, but they're both good. I don't know what I would prefer. I like them both. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but I do. If I had to pick one, I don't know. The science is really good, like the technology and whatnot. Yeah, good point there, Phoenix. Yeah, it uses various game mechanics and other news waters. What? Ice is cold. Snows in the winter. Yeah. This is a game. Indeed it is. So Iron Vows, I guess I'll explain that. That's pretty important for the world of Ironsworn, Starforged. There's a thing called Iron Vows. When you hold a piece of iron and declare a solemn promise to serve or aid someone or to complete a personal quest, your honor is bound to that vow. Those who undertake these sworn quests are called Ironsworn. And abandoning or recanting an iron vow is the worst sort of failure. That's kind of one of the core mechanics, is swearing these iron vows, and it's like your life depends on it, because it kind of does. So, but about the character, I think I'll go more over this when I make the character. Yeah, I'm gonna skim over that real quick. So let's see, making moves. This is, I guess, the main thing I wanted to go over real quick. Is moves is the main way of doing stuff in the game. So a lot of the different things you can do, you can think of them as actions in the game, are kind of separated by categories, but they're all made up of these moves. So they kind of look like this. You have a name for the move, and you have a trigger, which sometimes triggers it, or not sometimes, but it's the thing that kind of happens when you want to do this move. And then it kind of has a description. So for swear an iron vow, you give it a rank, and it says roll plus heart. So a lot of the things in this game you'll be rolling, and a lot of times you'll be adding stuff. Plus heart means you'll be adding whatever your heart value is. I'll explain here in a hot second what rolling is and how it works in this game, but it's pretty simple. But there's pretty much 3 main outcomes for each type of roll. You got a strong hit, weak hit, or a miss. Strong hit, as it sounds, is something really good. So in this case, you are emboldened and it's clear what you must do. On a weak hit, you're determined, but you begin your quest with more questions than answers. Where on a miss, you must overcome a significant obstacle before you can begin your quest. So most moves, I think almost all moves, have those 3 different kind of outcomes for what the result of the roll is. And yeah, you can see here, if you're swinging without a connection, you can add one. So sometimes there's also additional like additives and stuff that you can add on to moves and whatnot. There's different action roll, progress move. It's not, I don't want to go over that too much. It's not that important. Okay, this is the main thing. So the action roll. This is the main type of roll that you do in the game, where you roll a d6, you roll 2d10. First, you have to determine your action score. So take whatever your d6 is, it's called your action dice. So if you roll a 3, like in that other example, it said roll plus heart. So if my heart was a 2, okay, you add on 2, and then any extra additives. So if you have stuff like in that previous example, it said add +1 if you're swearing it to a connection. You would add that. Or if you have an item, a path, something extra you want to add, that's where it gets added. And then you get an action score. And then what you do with that score is you compare it to the 2d10 you rolled. And you see, do you beat both of the values? And compared, based on that, you either get a strong hit if you beat both of them, a weak hit if you only beat one, or a miss if you are lower than both of them. So like in this case, you beat the 4, but didn't beat the 6, so that'd be a weak hit. Like I kind of said, yeah, strong hits, good. Means you're in control. Weak hits means the situation is slipping out of control, and this means you have lost control of the situation. There's like a paying the price move, just means bad stuff happens. The main other thing to mention when rolling is there's matches that can happen, which you can kind of think of in like D&D terms as like a critical hit. So if you roll a match, and when you roll a match, it's either going to be, you can't be a weak hit. So it's either going to be strong, a hit, or a miss. So if you roll a match and it's a strong hit, then it should represent a twist in the narrative, something interesting or a new opportunity. But if it's a miss, represent a heightened negative outcome, a complication, or new peril. Things get worse in an unexpected way. So matches, you can kind of think of them like D&D crits or like other system, like just stuff kind of gets a little bit more intense or crazy whenever a match comes up. Momentum, that's a thing I'll explain maybe on characters, like over the character stuff. Progress tracks is pretty important, I'll explain that. Progress tracks are the main way of tracking stuff in this game. You could do it for a bunch of things. So when you swear and vow to track, like to complete, when you undertake an expedition to travel somewhere, you have a progress track. When you make a connection, you have a progress track for your relationship with that person. When you enter the fray for combat, progress track. So instead of like a health pool for the enemy, you have a progress track. So a lot of things are progress tracks in this game. And it's, I think, a really clever way of how they do it, because each progress track is always like 10 boxes. I think it's like 2, 4, 6, yeah, 10 boxes, but you give it a rank of, there's like 5 different ranks here, like troublesome, dangerous, formidable, extreme, epic. And based on the rank, each time you make progress towards a certain thing in a progress box, you'll mark off a certain number of ticks based off of how hard or easy it is. So for the lowest rank, troublesome, each time you make progress towards that thing, you'll mark 3 boxes off. Where if it's epic, like my starting iron vow is going to be, you only mark 1 tick every time you mark progress towards that, and each box takes 4 ticks. So it takes a really long time to get all the way completed with those. So that's kind of how the different difficulties adjust, you know, how long a thing takes to complete. So I think it's a pretty smart way to do it. I like it quite a bit. And yeah, just because filling a box doesn't necessarily mean it's complete, because once you're done, you have to make what's called a progress move to kind of finish the thing you're doing. So if you're like in an expedition, you finally reach your destination, or if you're in the combat, you end the conflict either by knocking the person out or getting away, whatever. So you'll make like a progress move to kind of decide the final thing. And in that case, it's like the normal action roll, but instead you don't roll a d6, and you just use however many boxes you have ticked as your score. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, but they don't have that 6 box tick. So they only use 5. They roll 2d10. It only beats the 4, so that's a weak hit. And that's that. There are the 3 legacy tracks. You can kind of think of these as the way of how you get XP in this game. So by completing quests, forging bonds with people, and discovering stuff, you could slowly mark ticks in these boxes. And after you complete a box, you'll get 2 XP, which you can use to buy new stuff or upgrade your current stuff. And I think that's pretty much all of the main stuff. I don't want to go over too much character creation stuff at the moment because I kind of want to get into the world building. That's one thing I guess I didn't really go over the plan. So like when you play this game, there's a couple different steps you have to take. So you have to like choose your truths, which is going to take a while, but I'm going to try to go through it pretty quickly, where you kind of figure out the truths of your world, and then you have to create your character, create your starting sector, do a lot of different starting stuff. But I'll try to breeze through it, but also I think it's pretty fun. It's part of the fun of this game, so I'm going to take my time a fair amount. I'm not going to like speed run through it. There's oracles for rolling stuff, equipment, vehicles. There's different types of vehicles. You start with a ship. This is kind of the class ship that you have, so it's pretty cool. Stuff about navigation. I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty good rules explanation. It's not everything, but that's the gist. So yeah, in the launching your campaign, just scroll to this section so we can see. Here we go, yeah, the kind of main things. We got choose truths, create a character, starting sector, and then actually start the adventure. So let's go ahead and start with choosing the truths. So there's a list of default assumptions here. So I'll read through these. I'll kind of skim through. I'm not going to read like the full thing, but some just default assumptions. So we're going to go through and choose a lot of truths for this world, but these things are kind of always true. They're just kind of default assumptions. So it's like a perilous future. So it's a lonely future. It's a diverse future, lots of people. Far-flung future. So it's in the future where there's, space, faster than light, technology travel. It's an unexplored future. It's a wondrous future. It's retro. It's unjust, but it is hopeful. And so with the truths category, this is really fun. I think this is so cool because go through these 14 different categories. Kind of a lot, but if you're into this, there's a lot of cool stuff here. And you just basically can either choose a truth, roll on truth, or do a mix of both. I think I'm just going to choose. Because I kind of have a character in mind. So I'm going to give you the only thing I know about my character that I'm going to be playing today is I'm going to try to make them a pacifist and try to avoid combat as much as possible. I'm pretty frequent on Reddit, and there's like an Ironsworn subreddit where someone's talking about doing like a pacifist run with a character and trying to avoid combat as much as possible. And combat's a pretty significant part of this game, so I thought it would be kind of interesting to try that here today. So that's the one thing I know going into this is I want my character to be like a pacifist type character and try to avoid conflict almost at all costs. And I think the one thing I did want to do for that is, so the first truth that you choose is cataclysm. What thing sent your people away from your home galaxy? And I think if I want to be a pacifist, I like the idea that escape the ravages of a catastrophic war. So actually, I'm going to move the PDF away because you could do this in Foundry. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Nope, wrong thing. Configure settings. Hold on. Stand by. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you can still kind of see this, but yeah, it's just the way you can do it in Foundry. It's a little bit easier, and then it'll save the options at the end. So for Cataclysm, I'm going to choose that my people escape the ravages of catastrophic war. So it kind of maybe gives me a little bit more of a reason to be anti-war, anti-violence, and be, not about that. Over millennia, we consumed resources and shattered lives as we fueled the engines of industry, expansion, and war. In the end, a powerful foe took advantage of our rivalries in a violent bid for power. Fleeing the devastation, we assembled our fleets and traveled to the Forge, a new home, a fresh start. In the final war, we were set upon by any of these options. AI, zealots, I don't know. Genetically engineered soldiers, I kind of like. Self-replicating nanomachines. Or tyrannical faction leader. Anybody have any? I'm kind of open to suggestions here. If anybody in chat has any good, besides, what I listed, I don't have any like more things in mind for this. I'm gonna go through and be choosing these truths. So I don't know if I really want to do the AI one, but any of the other ones, I kind of like maybe the self-replicating nanomachines. That'd be a good reason to get out of a place. It's just a war with self-replicating. I do like the genetically engineered soldiers, though. That's maybe a little bit more of like the war vibes than just like a threat, like a monster threat. So I kind of maybe I'll go with that. So okay, the reason our people fled was a war with some genetically engineered soldiers. So then the Exodus flight over. What was that like? Let's see. So it's basically they marked their forge as a destination. Countless generations lived out their lives aboard those ships. So the first option is basically it was like a long flight. Bunch of generations lived on those ships that took the flight over. Option 2 is a ragtag fleet of ships propelled at tremendous speeds by experimental FTL license carried our ancestors. Technology that powered the ships is said to be the source of the Sundering, which is a fracturing of reality. Where mysterious alien gates provide instantaneous one-way passage to the forge. I kind of like the gate option. I don't think any playthrough I've done that option, so I kind of like that. It's just alien gates that go just one way, like stargates, just giant ass stargates, basically. I think I'll go with that. This sounds pretty good. Midst of our cataclysm, our ancestors found a strange metal pillar on Homeworld's moon. Map on the surface of this alien relic detected deep space locations of the Iron Gates, massive devices that powered artificial wormholes. With no other options, the Exodus ships fled through the gates and emerged here in the forge. Okay. Option 2, done. Communities. Few survived the journey to the forge, and we are scattered to the winds. I don't know if that makes much sense with the gates. Danger abound, but there is safety in numbers. Many ships and settlements are united under the banner of one of the founder clans. We've made our mark in the galaxy, but the energy storms we call balefires threaten to undo that progress. I think I like the second option, I think. Just, kind of the middle road, we're not too scattered, but I don't have to deal with balefires, so I think this one sounds pretty good. Tend to foothold in the galaxy. Each of the 5 founder clans honor the name and legacy of a leader who guided the people chaotic time after the Exodus. Okay. Sounds pretty good. So iron. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna go with I like this top option a lot. So iron vows are sworn upon the remnants of ships that carried our people out of the forge. Yeah, I like that. Many of our outposts were built from the iron bones of Exodus ships. Fragments of these ships were also given to survivors as remembrance, passed from one generation to the next. Today, the Ironsworn swear vows upon these shards to honor the sacrifice of their forebears, the essence of the places left behind, the souls of the great ships. Sounds pretty good. I like the sentimentalness behind that. The other options aren't bad, but the other one is like you swear upon like black iron, very kind of like Mandalorian-ish. And this is like to honor their iron blades, which is cool. It's just not maybe what I'm going for here. So laws, we gotta figure out what kind of laws we got going on this. And I can maybe expand this a little bit more. I don't know if that helps. Okay, maybe that's a move. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have done that earlier. Makes it probably a little bit easier to read. Okay, laws. Much of the cell domain is lawless frontier. Criminal factions and corrupt leaders will hold sway. I do like that. I like a lawless frontier. Cell domains, bounty hunters are given latitude to persuade their contracts. I do like the bounty hunters. Communities are bound under the terms of the covenant. A charter established after the Exodus. The organization The organization called the Keepers is sworn to uphold the laws. Okay, I'm gonna go with I like the probably the middle option. I like the bounty hunter one, I think. Through tradition and influence, bounty hunter guilds are given free reign to track and capture fugitives in most settled places. Only the foolish stand between a determined bounty hunter and their target. I like it, even though I'm not going for like a bounty hunter vibe. I don't know. I like the idea of that. So, religion. We got option 1, our gods failed us, we left them behind. Option 2, our faith is as diverse as our people. Or option 3, 3 dominant religious orders. The Triumvirate, a battle for influence and power within the Forge. Well, I kind of like the middle option. I feel like people probably didn't abandon all hope. Well, not hope, but, you know, religion. They probably stuck around in one form or another, so that makes... I feel like that's good, yeah. Many have no religion or offer occasional prayer out of habit. Others pay homage to the gods of our forebears as a way of connecting to the roots. Some idealize the nature of the universe, see the divine, and the gravitational dance of the stars are complex mechanisms of a planetary ecosystem. Many now worship the primordials, gods of fallen people who once dwell in the Forge. So that's a little bit about the religion of this world. The magic. Magic does not exist. It's option 1. Option 2, supernatural powers are wielded by those people we call paragons. Or option 3, unnatural entities flow throughout the Forge. Magic and science are two sides of the same coin. This one's interesting. I don't know. I'm pretty, go either way on this one, I feel like. I don't like all the options. Any suggestions, anybody? Magic, no magic, paragons, science and magic aren't the same thing. Two sides of the same coin. Not the same thing. I think I'll probably go magic doesn't exist. I think that, I mean, it fits more with the sci-fi, I think. I like it. Somewhat just superstition and old age traditions for comfort in the unforgiving galaxy, but this is foolishness. What some call magic is simply a product of technologies or unnatural forces we aren't yet equipped to understand. All right, that's some magic. We're over halfway there. Communication data. I'm trying to speed through this, but like I said, I think you can really get into this, and this does help set the truths to the world. Obviously, this is setting a lot of, you know, what is and what isn't in this world that I'll be playing in. So it's important, but I've read through these options a bunch in the past, so I can kind of just skim in here. Communication data, much was lost when it came to the Forge. It is a dark age. Information is life. We rely on spaceborne carriers to transport messages and data across the vast distances between the settlements, or in settled domains. A network of data hubs we call the Weave allow near instantaneous communication and data sharing between ships and outposts. Well, I think if I'm going, you know, we came to the Forge in the Iron Gates, is that what they called them? The alien gates. I don't think it makes much sense that a lot of data was lost. Maybe, I mean, there could be some reasoning behind it if I wanted to go with that, you know. Just circuits fried on the way there, going through the gates, you know, there's some electro beam, but I think I like the middle option. Information is life. Space, I like the idea of spaceborne carriers. Yeah. So yeah, for this option, it says direct communication and transmission beyond the near space of a ship or outposts are impossible. Digital archives are available at larger outposts, but the information is not always up to date or reliable. Therefore, the most important communications and discoveries are carried by couriers who swore vows to see that data safely to its destination. I guess I didn't mention this earlier. Each of these options, when you choose one at the bottom here, I've kind of just been ignoring these for now. They have a quest starter down here, and a lot of these are really cool. Like I'll read this one, for example. Like the quest starter is you discover a crippled courier ship. The pilot carrying a critical and time-sensitive message is dead. Where was that message bound, and why do you swear to see it to its destination? I mean, I think that's a really cool, like, little starter quest. So yeah, each option you choose has a starter quest, and then also at the bottom of each of these categories, there's little, like, suggestions for your character. So it's like, oh, if you're an expert at subverting or manipulating digital information systems, you might be an infiltrator. If you keep an archive of navigational charts, you might be a navigator. And these are suggestions in like all caps. These are suggestions for different paths that you can take in this game, which I didn't really go over too much, but paths are basically the different backgrounds that you kind of choose for your characters, and that kind of makes up your character. So moving on from that to medicine, the three options we got. Option 1, our advanced medical technologies and expertise was lost during the Exodus. Option 2, to help offset a scarcity of medical supplies and knowledge, the resourceful technicians we call riggers create basic organ and limb replacements. Or option 3, Orders of sworn healers preserve our medical knowledge and train new generations of caregivers. Once again, I don't know. We could have stuff was lost in the Exodus, but I think, like, once again, if I'm going for like the Iron Gate route, in my mind it was pretty instantaneous when we got here. So unless it was like a technical issue, I don't really see how our medical stuff would have lost. I kind of like having, I don't think I've played with this option before. This sounds kind of interesting, just having sworn healers and, you know, train new generation of caregivers. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, we'll go with that. The option here says life-saving advanced care is available within larger communities throughout the settled sectors of the Forge. Even remote communities are often served by a novice healer or can request help from Healers Guild in an emergency. We got an option for artificial intelligence. Option 1, we no longer have access to advanced computer systems. Instead, we must rely on seers, we call adepts. Option 2, the vestiges of advanced machine intelligence are coveted and wielded by those in power. Or option 3, artificial consciousness emerged in the time before the Exodus, and sentient machines live with us here in the Forge. I don't really like the adepts one. I think option 2 or 3 is what I'm leaning towards. I kind of like maybe option 2 better. Maybe there's like not sentient AI, but I like the idea that maybe it's, you know, wielded by those in power. That could make some interesting quests and discoveries and whatnot. And yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So this option says much of our AI technology was lost in the Exodus. What remains is under the control of powerful organizations and people. It's often wielded as a weapon or deterrent. The rest of us must make do with primitive systems. All right, we're in the home stretch here. War. Option 1. Here in the Forge, resources are too precious to support organized fighting forces or advanced weaponry. Option 2. Professional soldiers defend and expand the holdings of those who are able to pay. The rest of us are on our own. Or option 3. War never ends. Talented weaponsmiths and shipwrights craft deadly, high-tech tools of destruction. Dominant factions wield mighty fleets and battle-hardened troops. Well, I said I was playing kind of like a pacifist, right? I want to be kind of like anti-war, anti-violence, try to avoid combat as much as possible. So I don't really think I want to do the first option. Like, I feel like war and fighting needs to be present, you know, so it's kind of like an issue for my character. I kind of like the last option. I don't know, to go like the full war option, war never ends. There's talented weaponsmith and shipwrights. Obviously my character would hate this, but also it would give them a reason to, I don't know, try to go out there and be peaceful and try to, I don't know, get people to stop fighting if there's actual like crazy wars going on. But I guess if this one, it literally says war never ends, it's not very hopeful for trying to end that conflict, is it? I'll go with it. I like it. The little extra description reads, those in power have access to weapons of horrific destruction potential. Skirmishes and wars flare across the settled domains, and most are pawns or casualties in their destructive campaigns. Alright, life forms. Option 1, this is a perilous and often inhospitable future, but life finds a way. Option 2, many sites and planets are infested by dreadful forge spawns. These aberrant creatures threaten to overrun other life in the galaxy. Or option 3, life in the galaxy was seeded and engineered by the Essentia, ancient entities who enact their inscrutable will in this galaxy. Okay, I don't know if maybe I'll just roll on this one. No, I gotta choose. I've been choosing all of these. I don't know. I could go for any of these. They're all pretty good. Go with this one. Go with the first option. It's perilous, but life finds a way. I kind of like that. Full description reads, life in the Forge is diverse. Planets are often home to a vast array of creatures, and our starships cruise with spaceborne life forms riding their wake. Even animals from our homeworld, carried aboard the Exodus ships, have adapted to live with us in the Forge. So that was life forms. All right, we're in the last two for choosing our truce. Okay, precursors. So option 1 is over eons, a vast number of civilizations rose and fell within the Forge. Today, the folks we call grubs, who are scavenger crews and audacious explorers, delve into mysterious monuments and ruins of those ancient beings. I kind of like that option. Option 2, the Ascendancy, an advanced spacefaring empire, once ruled the entirety of the Forge. Vaults of inscrutable purpose are all that remain to mark the Ascendancy's legacy. Those are untethered from our own reality. Also interesting, or the last option, is biomechanical life forms we call the remnants, entered by civilization as weapons in a cataclysmic war, survived the death of their creators. Well, I think I'll go with the first one. So there's folks called the grubs, there's a number of civilizations maybe in the past. Delve into mysterious monuments and ruins. That sounds pretty cool. So yeah, in the little description, it says that incomprehensible technologies, inexplorable time, and the strange energies of the Forge have corrupted the vaults of the precursors. Despite the perils, grubs scoured the places for useful resources and discoveries. But some secrets are best left buried, and many have been lost to the forsaken depths of the vault. The final truth selection is horrors. Option 1, put enough alcohol in a spacer and they'll tell you the stories of a ghost ship crewed by a vengeful dead. It's nonsense. Option 2, most insist that horrors aren't real. Spacers know the truth. Or option 3, the strange energies of the Forge give unnatural life to the dead. The Soulbinders are an organization sworn to confront these horrifying entities. So, space zombies, if you're feeling that. I don't know if I'm feeling space zombies. I don't know. I might just go with the middle one. That's Spacers Know the Truth. I like that one. So that says, when you travel to the depths of the Forge, be wary. Some say we are cursed by those who did not survive the cataclysm, and the veil between life and death is forever weakened. Supernatural occurrences and entities are especially common near White Dwarf Star. These stellar objects, which spacers call ghost lights, are the decaying remnants of a dead star. So, yeah, that's the last truth. And I click this little button, save truths, and boom. They're all in this little page. If you use Foundry, they're up here in this little journal tab, this little setting truths thing over here. Pretty cool, so I can come back and reference it whenever need be. So yeah, that is the first thing done and definitely the longest part of setting up the world. Next is character creation. So I guess I could go a little bit over characters and how to create them. So got a character. This is what a normal character sheet looks like. I'm using Foundry, so it's going to look a little bit different. But up top, you have like characteristics box to write stuff about your characters. You got your name, your pronouns, and your call sign. And then you have your main stats up here. You have edge, heart, iron, shadow, and what's covered up there is wits. Your kind of 5 main stats that you'll kind of set. And what else you got? These are the legacy tracks I talked about here. You got a track for your background val. Over here you got momentum, and that's a thing. And over here are your 3 main supply tracks. So momentum is, I kind of skipped over it earlier. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Maybe they'll describe it better. It's a special mechanic that is central to playing Starforged. Your momentum, it can vary, but basically, yeah, it's a value that can change. And what's nice about it is you can burn momentum to basically swap your momentum value for your action score. So if you're trying to do, you're trying to like persuade somebody and you roll a miss and your action score is a 4, your momentum is 7, you could do what's called burning your momentum to reset your momentum back to like whatever the reset number is. and then you'll use this number instead. So it could come in clutch if you want a get a jail free card kind of helpful thing. So that's what momentum is. Pretty helpful. The other three main tracks on the right, you got your health, pretty self-explanatory. It's your physical health. You have spirit, which is more your mental health, your how you're doing up there, and it's kind of your sanity, well-being, all of that stuff. And then supply is just your general inventory. Items and stuff, inventory in this game is very abstracted. So unlike a game, I'm gonna keep referencing D&D because that's like the most familiar RPG to me. But like D&D, you have like arrows and weapons and armor and this and that. There's nothing. There's like you can choose like a flavor, you know, for a weapon you want. Like if your clothes you're wearing, but as far as like you don't need to manage rations, you don't need to manage ammo if you have a gun. Like it's all abstracted to pretty much this supply track. So it's kind of weird for, you know, if you're not used to it, but it's also it's pretty nice once you get used to it. But yeah, well, the little character creation summary here. So you don't need to worry about step one. Step two, you choose two paths, then you create a backstory, write a background vow, board your ship, get a final asset, set your stats, set your condition meters, just automatically done, envision your character, name your character, and gear up. A lot of steps, but doesn't take that long. So the most important step is choosing two paths. So let me see if they have the paths listed somewhere. I can actually maybe... Does that mess stuff up? That probably does mess stuff up. Okay, I was just trying to think of the best way to show paths off. Why don't you just create a character? Create a character, give me a random name. Okay. So if I go over... Nope, not there. Assets, there, paths. So here's a list. I'm gonna kind of just... I'll do a slow scroll through this so you can kind of get a gander. But each path, I'll maybe click open this one. Okay, Archer, for example. So each path provides basically 3 different abilities, and you start with one ability unlocked. The other 2 you can upgrade with your XP. I didn't realize this, but I don't think you have to upgrade them in order either. You can upgrade them in whatever order you want. And so these paths pretty much make up your character. They're kind of like choosing your class. They provide different abilities. So there's, I'll scroll a little bit slower through because there's a lot of them. There's some really cool ones. You know, bounty hunter if you want to be a courier, explorer, you want to be a gearhead, a gunner, a healer, leader, lore hunter, outcast, seer, sniper, tech, voidborn, weapon master, like a lot of really cool stuff. I think that's one thing I really like about this game is there's no classes. You pick 2 paths to choose. It's like I kind of said, I already had an idea for a character in mind a bit. So I'm forgetting what I even wanted to choose. I know I wanted to choose empath because I wanted to avoid combat, and I felt like this would be a good one. So its ability I get when you read the intent, emotions, or memories of a nearby being, you roll plus heart. And yeah, I'm basically good at reading emotions. But then the later abilities are also, I feel like, would be pretty helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that path. And for my other one, I'm gonna be honest, I had it picked out in my head. I kind of forgot what it was. So I'm gonna need to scroll through these to kind of remember. But there's that's one thing I like about this is there's a lot of cool things. Maybe I was gonna be, I think it may be a diplomat, because I wanted to just be like able to talk myself, like talk my way out of situations and try to avoid conflict, you know, as much as possible. So I think diplomat was what I was gonna go with. But let me do a quick scroll through. There's a lot of cool ones. Loyalist, yeah, it doesn't work. I think that's more for if you have allies. Navigator. Yeah. I think diplomat was what I was going to go with. So this is like when you swear an iron vow to resolve a dispute, negotiate an agreement, or gather support, you add +1. On a strong hit, you mark progress on the quest. When you fulfill your vow on a diplomatic mission and score a hit, you also mark 2 ticks on the legacy track. So that's going to be my other class, and that part is done. So I'm going to be a diplomatic empath. And next step is to choose a backstory. I guess real quick, I want to show. I'll go to the PDF real quick. I'm gonna keep pulling this up. They do have a pretty cool. I do like this a lot. If you need inspiration for choosing backgrounds, they have these kind of assets. You could choose like these backgrounds. They kind of have suggestions, and like, so if you're trying to play a battlefield medic, you could choose healer or veteran. If you're trying to play, you know, a monster hunter, you choose gunner and slayer. If you're trying to play a starship engineer, you can play a gearhead. So I like this table a lot. I mean, I think it's very cool that you can pick whatever you want, but they do a good job of providing some pretty neat options, I think. Backstory. So you choose a backstory. The main thing that they say here is keep it simple. Yeah, there's no need to invent an elaborate history. You can discover more about your character through play, which I think is definitely a true thing. You can see here, they have some backstory prompts, and they're all very short and simple. So I'm gonna keep mine short and simple, and maybe even choose one of these off the table. Because like I said, I wanna be, you know, anti-violence, anti-war, so if one of these kind of fits with that, I'll probably go with that. Haunted by past actions, sole survivor of an attack. That could be pretty good. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? I was like the sole survivor of an attack or calamity. Maybe. Ambitions outgrew your humble origins. That could be also if I'm like trying to be like a peacemaker. You know, maybe grew up in like a, you know, small planet, kind of not solved all the problems, but it was pretty peaceful. You know, there's bigger problems elsewhere that I want to go help solve. I think I actually kind of like that maybe a little bit better than the sole survivor and attack. So yeah, maybe I'll go with this. Yeah, ambitions outgrew my humble origins. So let me snag that. And there's no spot here for backstory, so they just have a notes tab. So I'll just do backstory. Just paste that in there. Boom. Cool. Done and done. So next thing is to write a background vow. This is important. This is kind of like the thing that drives your character to an extent. It says consider what you know about your setting and your character, what nagging ambitions, aching needs, or sacred commitments drives you. This is your background vow. Vow is part of your character's history, sworn months ago or years ago. It could be tied to your backstory or represent a deeper life goal. Fulfilling this vow will not be easy. Mechanically, it's an epic vow, so it's going to be, every time I make progress, it's one single tick at a time. 4 ticks make up a box. It's going to take a while. Yeah, it says here, in story time, it's going to require months, years, or even decades. So you may decide your background vow isn't something you make significant progress on, and instead you just use it to help establish, you know, role-playing detail for your character, and then you just do other stuff that happens. So the vow needs to be kind of written, you know, in the first person, something like, I vow to destroy the Iron Talon clan, or vow to discover a means of preserving consciousness beyond death. That's a vow, all right. So yeah, if you can't think of a vow, they have they suggest doing some. There's a character goal. Maybe I'll glance at that, but I mean, I feel like, you know, let's see what they have. Character goals. So if you go to character creation, not that one, is it? The characters goal. Here we go. I just wanted to look at the table. Well, that's gonna roll, ain't it? That's rolling. So in Foundry, with like the little oracle here, you can click the eye to see the full table, or you can just click on the name to kind of roll. And one thing I really like that this does, I don't know if this module does this. I'm pretty sure this is like a Starforged thing, but it shows you 3 options. I really like that. So it's like, this is the highlighted one is your option, but it shows you the 2 options around it. So if you don't like that, you kind of have 2 other options right next to it to kind of pick from, which I like a lot. But here's the whole table. You can see these are pretty generic goals. So I kind of like, yeah, I feel like resolving a dispute might be something I'm trying to do. You know, I'm trying to be a peacekeeper, trying to stop people from fighting as much as possible. Yeah. So resolve a dispute. Okay. So what's cool then is sure, I'm gonna resolve a dispute, but I don't want to roll again. I want to see who I'm resolving a dispute between. So there's a factions table, and in here there is somewhere a name template. Yes, let's get a name template for a faction. So you can see over here, I got to roll legacy and then affiliation. Let's see what we get. Legacy affiliation. It's just straight up. Okay. So this is the Dissident Commonwealth. Okay. So it's a conflict between the Dissident Commonwealth. Don't know who that is, but and then who are they disputing with? Another legacy affiliation. Okay. It is the Universal Studios. No, Universal Ascendancy. Ooh, I kind of like Universal Alliance. Maybe United Alliance? See, this is why I like that the other options around is because you can kind of just pick and choose a little bit. Like, I mean, I like rolling, but also like, you shouldn't be afraid to re-roll if you don't like what you rolled. If it doesn't, you know, make sense or doesn't sound good, like, I'm playing solos, you can do whatever you want. So I kind of like United Alliance a little bit better than Universal Ascendancy. So, yeah, well, that's background vow done. Well, not done. I guess I've come up with it. So when you create a vow, I kind of just did that real fast, but the character sheet has different tabs over here. So I got a progress tab, and you just click add a vow, and pops up this little tab. So I vow to resolve dispute between the Commonwealth and Alliance. I'm just gonna write that for short. Commonwealth and Alliance, but that is the Dissident Commonwealth and the United Alliance. Maybe I'll write that down here. Dissident Commonwealth. And if I could type, that would be helpful. Okay, and what was the other one? The United Alliance. Boom. Beautiful. The other thing right here, you can set the difficulty of the vow. This is an epic vow, so it's going to take a while. That's that. Background vow created. Next step is to board the starship. Boom. So, a couple steps with this. Gotta give a starship some history, and like most things in this game, there's a table for that. So starship history. We'll definitely roll on this one. See what kind of history we get for the ship. Discovered as a derelict and patched back together. I'm gonna roll again. I don't know if I love that one. Let's see what other starship history we got. There's some right there, maybe. Inherited from a relative or mentor. Okay. I kind of like that. The history is it was inherited by a relative or mentor. We'll say maybe it was like a mentor. I kind of like that idea. So I just write it here. Just add a little history tab and my spaceship inherited from a mentor. Okay, cool. We got a little bit of spaceship history. Who owns the ship? I do. That's just a thing here. If you're playing with other people, you gotta figure out who owns the ship. Envision the starship. So I get to roll a couple quirks. See what kind of quirkiness this starship has going on. Things tend to go missing for no logical reason, and there's faint phantom music sometimes echoes through the corridors. Those are interesting quirks. I like it. So quirks. It's nice. You can just boom, copy, and so things go missing for no logical reason. So if the remote goes missing, I can't just blame someone. Or I can't just blame the ship because stuff just goes missing for no reason. Okay, cool. And then the final thing, of course, is a name for the starship, which there should be a table for. I might be missing it. There's definitely, I know there's a table. I just have to find. Oh yeah, there's a starships tab down here. Yeah, we're good. Starship name. All right, what is the name of this ship that was inherited from my mentor? Firebreak. Okay, we'll go with that. I like it. Firebreak. We got a ship. It's there's some weird music that plays and things go missing, but it's a ship. I'll take it. It's just given to us. Then the final, no, not the final step. We got a couple more steps. I'm gonna calm down here. I get to choose a final asset though. So it's pretty much what it sounds like. I get to choose an asset, but assets in this game, a path, like I picked earlier, those are assets, but there's also other things. I could get a companion. There's a lot of cool companions in this game. If you want a utility bot, a sidekick, a glow cat, a banshee, you can get like little animal companions. If you want a support vehicle, they got support vehicles. You want a skiff, you want a rover, you want a hover bike, you can get them. I might get a hover bike because that sounds kind of cool. You can also get modules for your ship. So if you want to upgrade the engine, or if you want to get a better missile array, you want to upgrade the shields, add stealth tech. These are all different modules you can get for your ship, and these are all assets. So at this point, I could choose one asset to grab, either a companion, support vehicle, module for the ship. Fire break, appropriate for the theme, breaking the fires of war through diplomacy. I like it. Yeah. Fire break. It's a good name. I just noticed the one above it, false hope. That would have been, I don't know if I would have wanted that as a name, but yeah, I like fire break. That does fit pretty good. So I need to figure out what I want this last asset to be. I mean, since I'm playing solo, just one character, I kind of want to maybe grab a companion. I wonder if any of these could help. Like, what does a survey bot do? Scans the path ahead. Okay. When I undertake an expedition, okay. What was a protocol bot? I'm not sure what some of these bots. I kind of want to grab bot, maybe? Aided by the bot in the move of a formal social interaction. Ooh. That might be good. So I have a protocol bot that helps out when I'm like trying to talk the big talk with I don't know, trying to make negotiations and stuff. Okay, combat bot. I don't think I want a combat bot. What was the utility bot? Did I look at that? When you make a move, directing it to access a system, cut through an object. Ooh. That would be kind of cool. So I could have it like go in and try to like, it has like tools. Ooh, I kind of like the utility bot. Like I said, there's also cool support vehicles. This is honestly like one of the toughest decisions when creating a character. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I already had an idea of the paths I wanted to choose. Normally that would take a lot longer if I didn't. But this part's going to take me a little bit because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Rover? Planet side transport. That's pretty cool. Hover bike, what does that get me? Provides speedy planet side ground transport. It's equipped to carry up to 2 people. Okay, that's pretty neat. I don't think I like the idea of support vehicles, but I don't think I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with some companion, make my life easier. So protocol bot I think is maybe what I'll go with, because that sounds pretty cool. It's programmed with knowledge of cultures, language, and customs. Like that sounds like it could help with like some diplomacy. Social interactions give me what are the other abilities? When you first visit or interact with a new community, you may ask the bot. Oh, that's really cool. You may ask for the bot's insight. If you do, envision what you learn and take +1. That's really cool. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I like that protocol bot a lot. So I'm going to take them. That's my final asset. And as you saw here, there's a little tab for a name. So I got to come up with a name for this little bot. Which there's some, I might just give them a character call sign. Their call signs. Let me see what I roll up for that. Swindle? Tinker is right below it. That one's not bad. Let me reroll. Brick. I don't know how much of a fan I am of these names. I don't know if I want a bot named Brick. Pack Rat? Paladin. I kind of like Paladin. Let me roll one more time. I need some more options. These are more call signs for people, so... Book. Ooh. I kind of like Book. Because they're supposed to be, cultured. They're they got some knowledge, so... My bot Book. Bot Bookton? I'll just call him Book. I like that. Book the bot. Alright. And now, time to set my stats. This is pretty simple. You just set the stats, you don't roll any stats, and you set one stat to 3, you set 2 stats to 2. The other 2 stay at 1, and that's pretty much it. And so real quick, I'm gonna pop the PDF over. They have a pretty good explanation here. So edge is like your quickness, agility, prowess when fighting. Heart is courage, willpower, empathy, sociability. Iron is your physical strength, endurance, aggressiveness. Shadows is your sneakiness and deceptiveness. And wits is expertise, knowledge, and observations. And like I said, I'll be able to set one of those to 3, 2 of them to 2. So I think my heart needs to be a 3. I think that makes the most sense. That's the one for courage, sociability, loyalty, empathy, willpower. Like that seems like what I need to be the strongest at. I think wits. No, yeah, wits is pretty. It should be a 2 because that's for like expertise, knowledge, observation. I want to be pretty witty. Crack a joke every now and again, maybe. Who knows? What else do I want to set to a 2? Edge is quickness and agility. Iron is physical strength. Sneakiness. Maybe I want shadows for sneakiness and deceptiveness and cunning. So like maybe I'm not using it to be, I'm not trying to like manipulate people, but I gotta be sneaky sometimes. So maybe I'll choose that, like a 3 in my heart. I got 2 for shadow and 2 for wits. I kind of like that. Seems like a pretty good stat layout. Yeah. Okay. We'll lock that in, and that's that. Pretty short and simple. Next step is setting condition meters, which is already done, as you can see here in my little character sheet. Don't want to click that. Momentum starts at +2. Everything else on the right-hand side, health, spirit, and supply, start at 5. Okay. Envision what my character looks like. Okay. I'm gonna put these in my characteristics. So it says something about how they look, how they act, and how they wear, or what they wear. So I don't know. There's no tables for these. So I'm just gonna like try to envision. Or I guess there are. There's like revealed aspects. Maybe we'll see. What would first look? Is that like physical appearance? Oh, let me click it, you stupid thing. All right, yeah, we won't even roll on this table. Let's see what kind of first look descriptions I get. That maybe threatened, maybe distracted. No, concealed. I like that. Maybe I'm a bit concealed. That could be. Maybe that's more how I would act. No, that's how I look. I guess that's not how I act. I look concealed somehow, but I don't. Maybe revealed aspect to see how. Yeah, okay, that's more how I act. Which I kind of have an idea, but once again, I'm just trying to roll, see oblivious. No. Maybe we'll look at this one. Was this the revealed aspect? I'd like to think of maybe they're not pretty clever. I mean, they would probably be pretty charismatic. Determined, probably. Would they say, what should I do? 1 or 2 facts for how they look, act, and wear. So maybe I'll also roll again for how they look, just to give a little bit more detail, not just concealed. Tattooed? I don't know if that really fits with this character. What? Swaggering? No. Accompanied, scented, adorned. I just want give me another trait to describe my character. I don't want to be threatened. Give me something else to work with here, Oracle. Imposing? I don't know how I feel about these. Haggard, grim, maybe ill-equipped. You know what? Sure. I like that. That's maybe not everything needs to be a positive. And well, I mean, concealed maybe isn't the most flattering thing, but so how do I act? I like maybe charismatic. Maybe not, if I'm being a bit concealed. Maybe just a bit critical. Let's see what do I think? Insightful, I like that. Maybe they're pretty insightful. And kind. Yeah, you know what? Insightful and kind. That's how they act. Cool. And what they wear? I don't know. Maybe like a cool space jacket, a cool kind of gray space jacket with a blue shirt under. Boom, character is envisioned. Second final part of the character creation is I get to finally name the character. It's kind of weird in the like character creation process. They kind of go like backwards, with this part being like at this step. So let me get rid of this reveal. Get out of here. No. Okay, character name. So we have a given name, which is like our first name. You know, we have a family name, so our like last name. Then we have the call sign, which is what our character probably normally goes by. It seems like it even says in here, like, people sometimes call like their given name like their dirt side name. So yeah, well, we see what my given name is, but it's probably not gonna be the one I go by. Juro? Okay, I kind of like that name. Juro. And then what is my Buhari? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's probably not gonna be something I'm saying much. That's fine. I'm gonna be playing a guy, so he, him pronouns for me, and call sign. See what my call sign is. Tycoon. This one I might look through the thing because I'm going for like a specific you know, I'm going for like a certain archetype, so I don't want to have something like, I don't know, Bloodshot when I'm trying to be like a diplomat type person, you know. I gotta find something that fits. Just a quick scan of this. Mainframe Monarch. I do kind of like. Mongoose. Omega. I kind of like that one too. There's some good names in here. Zephyr. Oh, I do like Zephyr. Wayfinder. That one's pretty good. Trying to find a way. Ooh. That's gotta be it, right? I'm always trying to find a new way to solve things. They call me the Wayfinder. Fits, right? Maybe. We're going with it. It's locked in. It's written in ink. I can't erase that. And the final step is gearing up. So I'll read what it says, but like I said, you know, it's not too important. It says in Starforged, you don't need a detailed list of equipment. Your supply meter is abstract representation of your general readiness: clothes, fuel, energy, food, water, tools, weapons, ammo, mundane equipment, financial resources. You're equipped and armed as appropriate to your vision for your character and the nature of your setting. Weapon items, I don't really think I have much on me. I don't think I'm gonna specify much. We have like a spacer kit that's got some stuff in it, so maybe I'll jot those down in my like items, but I don't need much. I probably don't have a weapon. I'm trying to be a pacifist. I mean, you know, self-defense is a thing, but like, I don't know. I don't envision myself having like a pistol. Well, it is space though. You never know. This is all the stuff in like my spacer kit, so this is just assumed things that are probably like, you know, on the ship or something. I'm just trying to get this formatting to be the same. This is frustrating. It's not wanting to be a bolded list. There we go. Okay. Yeah, besides this stuff though, that's probably good. If I forget something, just retcon it. And that's it for character creation. We're done. Juro, aka Wayfinder, who is the one that finds the way, has been created. So there's only a couple more steps before we get started. You know, this takes a while, but this is all part of the game. You know, creating the characters, creating the setting, like it's all part of the fun. So this part is significantly sped up because of Foundry, which is nice, which is creating a starting sector. Flash the PDF back on the screen here. So starting a sector is a settled or explored area of space. In the fiction of your setting, sectors are named and provide people to forge a common means of identifying a location or mapping domains of like a power or faction. You know, for example, someone might say Bleakhold Station is in the Devil's Maw. So your character would need more precise charts or coordinates to actually pinpoint the station in the Devil Maw section, but like it's a start. So yeah. So option 1, I have to choose my starting region. Kind of explained earlier, there's 3 areas. I think I want to play, you know, a more social stuff, so I kind of want to be where the people are, which is Terminus. You know, if you want to focus on interacting with other people and communities, that's kind of what I want to go for here. So that's what I'll do. In Foundry, there's a button behind, I guess, where my head is, but you can click Edit Sector, opens up this, and all I have to do is click Terminus, and boom. Now, anytime I do stuff in Foundry, it is just taken into account that I'm in Terminus. The main thing it also determines is right now how many settlements I will be creating, which is 4. Seems like a lot. It's pretty simple, like I said, with Foundry. For just like tables, it'll take pretty short time. But here are the different things we're gonna generate for a settlement. Let's make the settlement name, location, population, authority, and 1 to 2 settlement projects. I like doing 2, so yep. And then we'll generate planets for any settlements that are planet side or orbital, and then stars for planets, which I like doing. And then you put it on a map and create passages. So let's create these 4 settlements. Actually, how quick this is through Foundry. It's one of the reasons we're doing this here through Foundry today, because I click a button, make this new settlement. And then, like I said, we're going to be generating a name. So I click the little random name button there, and boom, we got Apex is the name of the settlement. The location would be the type of settlement, which is right here. So it's an orbital settlement, it's orbiting a planet. The population, you can just click this table. There's hundreds of people here. The authority is tolerant, okay? And then as far as settlement projects, like I said, I want to roll 2. So their projects include expansion and mining. And just like that, first settlement has already been made. Like I said, it's rolled nice and simple with Foundry. It's one of the reasons I'm doing this here today. It's a lot quicker. So let me move this a little bit like over here. I'll place them actually on spots on the map after I kind of just generate them all. So like I said, new name, we got Rust. It's another orbital settlement. This one has a population of tens of thousands. The authority there is oppressive, and the settlement projects include salvage and also expansion. Man, this is a really expansive focused couple settlements, I guess. So 2 settlements done. Let's do the next one. Lyra is a planet-side settlement with a population of hundreds, authority of none, so it's like a lawless area. And settlement projects include mining and entertainment. All right, neat stuff. And we gotta just do 1 more settlement. New name, Felicity. This is a deep space settlement. Cool. Population of thousands, fair authority, and settlement projects include trade and medical. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a pretty neat place. Just kind of like a space hospital, maybe, or just like a space, you know, medical trade facility. I don't know. Okay, so we got the 4 places. So now I want to go ahead. Normally we do this a little bit later. I want to place them on the map, and what I like doing is randomly placing them. So this little map grid, you can maybe see it here. I'll try to zoom out because I think my head's blocking part of it. This is just with Foundry, they give you a little sector map. So what I like, I think I counted before, across is like 23 and down is like 17 like spaces. So I'm just gonna roll a D23 and a D17 for each place for like kind of coordinates to randomly place them on the map, if that makes sense. So you just do roll and 1D17, or I'll do D23 first. I'll just start with Lyra. And so we got a 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I roll a D17 to see how far down it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not an exact science, but I like having just random placements for stuff. So it takes a second, but I don't know. This is the way I like doing it. So 22. Okay, Apex is way kind of off the end, and I'll roll to see where this is downwards. 17, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I gotta do Felicity next, so roll 23. Oh, that's like way at the end. Okay, maybe I need to bump Apex in a little bit, and then roll D17. 12. Okay, wait. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, somewhere like that. And then I think rust is the only one that still needs placed. So do that real fast here, trying to speedily move through this. And 1, 2, so that's way over there. 1d17, see where it's going down. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not an exact science, but like I said, I just kind of like having these be randomly placed. So now we kind of got them all over the place. So now I'm gonna go one by one and generate some planets for them. So Rust, for example, is an orbital settlement. So pull up a planet, and the planets are even simpler than settlements. For each planet, I think we roll 2 things. We roll the type of planet and the name. I think that's it. I'm double checking if there's anything else. Yeah, no, that's it. Just the type of planet. So this is a Jovian world named Magnus that Rust is orbiting. Let's see, Lyra. As you can kind of see by the little icons, they kind of are a little bit different. So like this is pointing to a planet, so it's planet side. This is kind of circling around the planet, so that's how you know it's like an orbital settlement. Lyra, let's see what the planet side planet is. It is an ocean world named Siren. Oh boy, Siren. All right, and then finally Apex up here needs a planet that it is orbiting. So that is going to be a furnace type world named Cinder. That is a good name for a furnace type world, Cinder. I like that. Felicity is just a deep space settlement. The other thing you could do, this is optional, but I like doing it, is generating stellar objects, stars, you know, just for the planets. Smoldering red star. So let me just copy that. This is, unfortunately with the planets, they have the cool pictures. These, they don't, but that's fine. It's mainly just, I like having it for flavor wise, just cause. I'll just do this for only like a couple planets. Takes a second, but I like doing it. Another smoldering red star. Okay. This galaxy is full of them. Put another one of these stars over here, and then we'll do one more star to finish up over here. This is a burning yellow star. Okay. Not a red star. And like I said, yeah, it's mainly for flavor. You know, if you're near a world that has a smolder or burning yellow star, it's going to look a bit more yellow. If you just, you know, just add the image in your mind of what this place looks like. So, okay, this is kind of our sector almost all set up. So a couple more things I got to do. I think next is creating the passages. So, man, we're almost through this. It's taking a little bit, I'll be honest, it's taking a bit longer than I expected it to, but that's okay. This is all part of the game. It's all part of the fun. And I'll maybe play a bit later tonight just because this is taking a little bit longer than I expected. Creating passages. We're almost done though. Like we got to finish creating the sector and then we're just figure out where we're starting. Passages. So a passage is a charted route among drifts. Spacers rely on these routes for travel and trade. Think of it like using a GPS and freeways to drive to a distant city as compared to traveling with only vague directions and unmarked roads. Since we're in Terminus, you can make 3 passages, and they basically just need to follow one of 2 criteria. Either the passage needs to connect 2 settlements, or it needs to connect a settlement to the edge of the map. I got to create 3 of these passages. So little space highways, and I think, yeah, we need to connect some of these up. Let me see what these settlements were real quick. Rust, what's going on with Rust? Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be going to Rust much. I'm trying to figure out also in my head like which one I want to start at. I think I liked Felicity. That was the orbital place that's trading with medicine stuff. That seems like it would be my character's like area for this type of thing. So maybe we'll go, I got 3, and I'm just gonna draw this with like the little freehand tool, so it's gonna look pretty rough, but okay. We're getting there. There's the first passage between Cinder and Siren. I'm gonna do, I don't know. I could do 2 more. We'll go maybe Apex to Felicity. I know this isn't a very long route, but like whatever. Oh, come on, let me draw the arrow. It's pretty sketch. It works out. Okay. And then the final one, I kind of want to draw one going to the bottom of the map for Felicity. So maybe do something like this. Yeah. Cool, and we got one going off the map. Not the best drawing, but that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah. Pretty nice starting sector we got going on here. I'm liking it. I'm excited. We're about to, let's see, zoom in on a settlement now. So like I said, I was kind of thinking I like Felicity as maybe a starting settlement. This isn't, we have to zoom in on a settlement, get some additional details for it, but it's not, it doesn't mean we have to start there. But I think usually it makes the most sense that the settlement you're zoomed in on is the one you're starting at. But yeah, so I'm gonna choose Felicity, and I can figure out a couple things. So do first look of 1 to 2 times in settlement troubles. So let me see. First look. It's built from random scrap and built within a repurposed ship. Okay. So very cobbled together is what I'm getting at. And what kind of settlement troubles is Felicity dealing with? Social strife. That is my bread and butter. Oh man, I could not be more happy to hear that there's social strife going on. That's I'm gonna come in and just fix everything maybe. If it's planet-side or orbited, if it was an orbital planet, I would discover more about the planet. But this is just a deep space, no planet involved, so no more stuff to generate there. Gotta create a starting connection now. So a connection represents an important relationship with a non-player character. Well, that's what NPC stands for, if you didn't know. You create a connection with NPCs, advance those relationships through the course of narrative, and forge bonds to represent deeper connections. Building and nurturing these relationships allow you to mark progress on your bonds, legacy track, and gain experience. So relationships with people are very important in this game. You know, forging bonds, making connections, being friends, whatever. It's very important. It's one of the 3 ways you get XP in this game. So pretty cool. I have to just create a starting connection. It says, yeah, for now, you have a single connection in your starting sector. You almost certainly know other people here and elsewhere, but you aren't truly connected to those people, or they aren't the focus of your story. You can formalize other relationships by making them a connection through the course of your adventure. Okay. So I just need to make up a connection real quick. Come up with some rando NPC. And yeah. So I go here, go to my progress, add a progress track for like a connection. And figure out who this person is. So I guess first I could come up with like a call sign for who they are, but I guess one of the most important things that this connection needs to have is a role. A role represents their duty, expertise, or background. You know, a shipwright builds and repairs ships. An envoy, it can introduce or help resolve disputes. Explorers. So that's kind of one of the main things is what is this person's job, profession, what do they do? There is a character, there should be character role table to roll on. Let's see if I can get maybe some inspiration, because I don't really have anything in mind. You know, a bounty hunter, that doesn't really fit. I don't know if I want to go with that. Let's just get another option. That was the wrong table to roll on. Whoops, I rolled on the gold table. A prophet? Let's try one more time. A scout. Okay, I like scout. We'll say the role is like a scout. Sure. I like that. This is just a good role. The other thing I need to determine, let's see. Got their role, give it a rank. How much of a role is this person going to be playing in the story, basically? So there's the 5 different levels of difficulty I could choose. It's basically how involved this person is, or like how much risk is involved with them, stuff like that. I don't really know who this person is. I don't think they're going to play a major part, so I'm going to keep it at the lowest option here. And what else? To define their characteristics, so I can roll some first look to see what this person looks like, and they are adorned. Let's see what they're. Maybe get another one real quick. Mutated. Okay, I like that. First look, adorned and mutated. Okay. What is their goal as a scout? I don't know. It's got to be somewhat scout related. Was it prove worthiness? Okay, I like that. That's a pretty good goal, but also kind of vague. You know, it's the best kind of goal. The connection. Their home is just going to be Felicity. That's where we're meeting them, so that works for me. And then I just need to give them a name, which is probably gonna be just some call sign. You know, I don't probably know their full name. Just the purpose of call signs is what you call people. Ooh, the mole. I like mole. I do kind of like monarch though. This is a scout. We'll maybe go with monarch. I like that name. I want to use it, so we'll just name them monarch. Or at least that's what they go by. Cool. What else do I need to do? Just double checking stuff. Okay, 2 more things for the sector. It's taking forever. Okay, sector needs a sector trouble. Luckily there's a table to roll on. See what kind of trouble is troubling the sector. So okay, that's in character creation, right? Yep, sector trouble. Just roll on the table. Put this in notes somewhere. Religious zealots overrun the sector. Cool. That's troublesome indeed. I kind of like the one above it, maybe a little bit better. Raider clan emerges as a dominant threat under a new leader. Maybe I'll go with that one. I kind of like that a bit more. I'm just gonna create a new journal entry for sector stuff. There's nowhere else to really put this stuff. I don't know. I'm just gonna create a new page in here. Boom. That's the trouble. And the last thing we need for a sector is a sector name. Which also, once again, there's a table for somewhere. Did I not see it? Sector name. Where is it? Is it? Oh, is it in the space? Yeah, sector name. Here we go. I was like, I know there's a sector name. So you just roll a prefix and a suffix. Sometimes the little tables are kind of hard to find. So the sector name is the Haunted Channel. I kind of like that. That's a pretty cool name. The Haunted Channel. So I go up to here. What? Configure? Yeah. Haunted Channel. Right? Boom. Got a sector name. That's all done. And yeah, we're the final step of the setup is actually beginning the adventure. You know, we visioned the inciting incident and set the scene and get started. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna hit the restroom, just take a breather, and I'll be back in like a few minutes and we'll finish this setup and actually start playing. And like I said, I'm gonna plan on probably streaming a bit later tonight just because this took a little bit longer than I anticipated. But yeah, I'll be back in I don't know, a couple minutes. So take a break yourself. You know, if you're standing, sit up. If you're sitting, standing. You know, drink some water. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'll be back in a few. I love my chill music, but I really wish I could have found some good space music to play. I feel like this just doesn't fit the vibe as well, you know? But whatever, you know, it still works. Normally when I play, I have some like very space, very ambient space music going, which I really dig. Very like, I don't know. There's like, yeah, very good space, like just like, I don't know, like melt, like, I don't even know how to describe it. A lot of them, they're like relaxation. Very, very cool stuff. I really wanted to get one for this stream. I don't know. It was a bit, I worry with like YouTube's whole copyright thing and whatnot. I don't want to get, you know, anything taken down or copyright strike. So we deal with this music, but maybe next time if I play this again or something, I'll try to find better fitting music. Hello, welcome back. All right, we have a starting sector, the Haunted Channel. We have a character, Juro, aka Wayfinder, the empath diplomat with their protocol bot book. Got our ship named Firebreak. Found a little bit more about the area we'll be starting at, which is Felicity. I guess I'll put Firebreak over here, kind of near Felicity, just so I remember that. And yeah, pretty much ready to start playing. Well, like I said, this stuff takes a while, but it just took me a little bit longer than I anticipated. But you know, it's all part of the fun. Now I get to actually figure out how I want to start this thing, which can be tricky. But it's one of those things like you just gotta do it, you know? They have some good tables to roll on, and then once you get going, a lot of stuff will just start popping up. So, we pull up the little PDF, go over this a little bit. So the main thing we gotta do is vision an inciting incident. So an inciting incident is the problem at the beginning of a story that propels the protagonist to action. Everything up to that is backstory. Is the inciting incident that begins your campaign. So they have like, oh, you can look at the truths, character stuff, sector troubles. Talks about what makes a good inciting incident. So it has to be, you know, make it personal, make it a problem that won't go away, make it give it a ticking clock, you know, up the stakes, but you know, limit the scope. You don't want it to be too mundane, but also don't try to save the universe out of the gate. So gotta find a little bit of a balance there. They have, like most things, there's a table that you can roll on if you're stuck for ideas. So what I want to do, oh my goodness, sorry if you hear a chatty kitty in the background, I apologize. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm gonna quickly glance over the truths that was set earlier, see if I could see a good starting thing. But like I said, I mean, my background vow is there's some I'm trying to resolve some dispute between these two factions, and I guess the two factions, what did I say, was like the Commonwealth and where did I put that? Oh, it's in my progress, right? The Commonwealth and the Alliance. So I don't really want to do anything related to that right off the bat. Probably just something else. What is Felicity? They deal with medical and trade. Okay. And then what was the setting truths related to like medicine? Is there anything good in here? Reactor exploded at a remote settlement, killing several and exposing many others to lethal radiation. A team of healers is en route to provide and were captured by raiders. What do the raiders want for their release? Okay, sounds like a bit of a negotiation mission. That could be, that sounds like it's something in my wheelhouse. And I like the idea that maybe, you know, that could be a good mission for Felicity since they deal with, you know, medical stuff. Mainly more on the trading side, but I imagine they also have decent medical facilities there if they, you know, are like a medical trade hub. So they probably have healers they sent out. So maybe, you know, they weren't, the reactor was definitely somewhere else, not Felicity, but the team sent there. That could be pretty cool. Let me see if there's any, let me glance at some of these other ones. AI, meh. Weaponsmith created an experimental ship-mounted weapon called the Null Cannon, able to fracture the very bounds of reality. Now they hope to undo their work before the cannon is brought to bear. Wait, what? What caused the change of heart? How are you involved? Okay, that seems pretty wild. Life forms. I'm just scanning these, see if there's anything that hops out. I kind of like I like the medical one. I'll probably go with that unless I see something else that looks cool. What was the laws? Famed bounty hunter needs your help tracking down their quarry. Oh boy, that doesn't sound like my type of thing. What was this? An active gate. Okay, I think I like that medical one. There are some other ones, like I said, there is a table. But I kind of like that medicine one. That seems interesting enough. So reactor exploded at a remote settlement, killing several and exposing others to lethal radiation. A team of healers en route to provide aid were captured by the raiders. Were captured by raiders. What do the raiders demand for their release? I like it. I think it's interesting. It probably would fit well with something, you know, my character would want to do and could do. Maybe negotiate with some raiders. Okay. And it's, you know, medicine related, so that's how it could kind of tie to Felicity. All right, you know what that makes for, I think, a good starting quest. So now, pull the PDF back over here. Got to set the scene. And there's basically two options for this. Whatever the location, you have two options. You can just start with a prologue or in media res. And prologue it's just pretty much what it sounds like. You know, you jump in a little bit before this, you know, you kind of set the scene. If you're showing up at a settlement, you know, envision getting there and docking your ship, your character emerging, interacting with the inhabitants, and you can envision all that stuff. It gives you the opportunity to roleplay and introduce your personality and backgrounds, yada yada, starting in media res. And media res is a Latin term for meaning in the middle of things. You start your story at a crucial point. Your inciting incident is happening now, or is an immediate threat. Okay. I'm gonna start with a prologue. I don't know. I like that probably a little bit better. Lets me kind of get rolling into things, maybe set some details and whatnot. So we're gonna start with a prologue. Sorry, I'm just skimming the PDF. Okay, because after I kind of have to envision, you know, once I make a response to the inciting incident, I have to swear an iron vow, and you know, write that vow, roll the dice, and then figure out the next steps. So, I guess before I do that, we kind of envision what's been going on. So, my character, the diplomatic empath wayfinder, and what I say their backstory was, like, ambitions outgrew my humble origins. So definitely, I felt like I was trying to, you know, be a peacekeeper, be a diplomat. Things in my home area maybe weren't too bad, you know, pretty civil. There wasn't too much that needed fixed, and especially out in other settlements, other planets, other areas, stuff needed fixed more, and people need to help more. There's communities out there that need more help. So that's definitely, I think, why I'm out and about. I got the old Firebreak ship from my mentor. I don't know my mentor's name, but like, it doesn't really matter. They gave me a free ship. Maybe they'll appear at some point again. Who knows? So, you know, maybe I should get my mentor name. That actually would probably be a good thing. I'm trying to just rename my Firebreak. There we go. So it kind of displays. Cool. I get, you know what? Let me get my mentor name. I guess that probably be for the best, because then they might show up at some point, you know? So character name, let's just get my mentor name. Who gave me this fine ship? Good old Dex. All right, that's all I want to know. So I'll just jot that down in like the history. Got it from my mentor. Let me edit this. Dex, cool. Done. So got Firebreak. just cruising through the galaxy, going from settlement to settlement, just trying to, help smaller communities with what I can, while also in the back of my mind, I mean, the big thing that I'm worrying about is trying to solve the dispute between the Commonwealth and the United Alliance. The dissident Commonwealth, the United Alliance, which right now don't know much about these two factions. I don't think they're going to play a part right away. I'm going to kind of probably lean towards that they're probably not going to show up immediately in the story. Maybe I'm in a different, not in a different sector, but who knows? I don't think these factions are probably going to be too present. Like these raiders I'm going to go fight, they're probably not going to be part of either of these two alliances or like these two groups. These are probably two big factions. That's why this is an epic quest, because these are two big disputing settlements, factions, whatever you want to call them. They're factions. So, okay. So it gives me kind of a reason to be going through space. I end up at Felicity. So Felicity, this is a deep space settlement. So it's not, orbiting anything. It's just chilling out in space. Has a population of thousands. So lots of people, fair authority. Looks like it's built from random scrap and within a repurposed ship. So that's pretty cool. So some big old spaceship they've kind of cobbled together into some not orbital, this is a deep space settlement. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, the main settlement projects here are trade and medical. So I think, like I said earlier, I think that kind of just deals with trading of like medicine supplies and whatnot. What the heck? Sorry, I thought I heard a noise. So, okay. So we end up here, and we at some point meet. Who's my connection? I already forgot. Forgot the person's name. Monarch. That's right. So they are the scout whose goal is to prove worthiness. So one of the other, I guess, yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to like not hop over ask the Oracle. Maybe I'll be using this I would definitely be using this at some point. Asking the Oracle. This is the general Oracle for this game. So if you're not sure and you want a yes or no answer, you pretty much just envision kind of what likelihood that it is of happening. You click here and then we'll give you yes or no based on that. Pretty handy. I will definitely be using it a lot. So the one thing I'm trying to figure out is, okay, so this is a pretty, not the nicest space station, not the nicest settlement. It's built from a repurposed ship with a random scrap. So not pristine, but it's a medical trade area, so maybe, it's just the location of it's good, and that's why they get so much business and whatnot. Yeah, I like that. So the authority is fair, so I imagine there's not, any big hubbub when I, come flying in, docking to this settlement. Imagine it's pretty chill. My ship's not getting shot at. There's probably just a regular docking area for guests. It's a settlement. They probably have a visitor center. Parking area, you got to get your old parking validated at the end and all that good stuff. But okay, we got fire break here. So I imagine I've probably been here for a while. Maybe not a long while, not a significant amount of time, but at least like I'm not just getting here. We'll say maybe I've been here like a week or so. Been slowly just meeting people, trying to, get a feel for the settlement. It's not, it's pretty big, there's thousands of people here. So fair amount of people. Yeah, mostly dealing with the medical trade, though there is social strife was the issue going on. And there's also here in the Haunted Channel the sector, you also have the trouble of there's a raider clan. Ooh, I forgot about this. The trouble is there's a raider clan, so maybe this raider sector trouble it's got to be related to the raiders that took this person that we're going to be learning about here in a second. I'm just trying to envision how I met your mother. No, how I met Monarch. So they're a scout. We probably just their goal is to prove worthiness. So they're like a local here. So yeah, I imagine like we probably cross paths when I'm just trying to find people to help. And they're trying to prove worthiness, so they they're scouts. They're always on the lookout for people and places. They're probably pretty perceptive. So yeah, how exactly you met? Just in the settlement somewhere. I'm just not looking for trouble, looking for people to help. I am looking for trouble, but to help resolve, I guess. Not looking to start trouble. And yeah, at some point I run into Monarch and we become, pretty acquainted. Not best friends yet, but we know each other. And so at some point, Monarch knows that I'm looking for stuff to do, and the thing happens. I want to pull it up just so I can read it again. So for the medical, it's that a reactor exploded at a remote settlement, killing several and exposing many others to lethal radiation. A team of healers en route to provide aid were captured by raiders. What do the raiders demand? So keeping that kind of, maybe make this a bit smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. Is there a settlement nearby? A remote settlement that they maybe could have been heading towards? A remote settlement? That doesn't necessarily mean... So maybe, I'm trying to figure out where this happened. If it was at one of these settlements I know, it probably would be. I don't want it to be way over there. That's remote. We're at Felicity. What is the population here? They have hundreds of people there. That's lawless. Oh, and they deal with mining. So maybe that can make sense. They have some reactor expansion and mining. That's a more orbital settlement. This one's planet side, which I think maybe makes a bit more sense. I guess there could be a reactor in an orbital settlement, but I think it makes a bit more sense that it's on a planet side. So maybe we'll say Lyra. We'll say that Lyra is the settlement that this reactor explosion happened at, and that a team of healers left from Felicity to go to Lyra and fix this issue. Try to heal some people and just try to help, get people the help they need. And they were captured by raiders. So, I imagine that there's probably some there's some faction of maybe healers or I'm trying to think. So I'm sorry, my brain's just thinking. So Monarch is probably they're a scout, so they heard. Maybe they were tasked with trying to go and scout out these people, but maybe Monarch right now has their hands full with something. They're busy with some other task that the healer, whoever the healers are on Felicity, came to Monarch and they're like, hey, these healers got captured by these raiders. Can you help? And Monarch's like, yeah, I'm a bit busy with this other thing. I could if I would. Let me put you in touch with my boy Wayfinder. So that's where I come into the picture. And so Monarch comes to me and they're like, you need to resolve this because this is a serious thing. It's also more in my wheelhouse maybe than Monarch, so they're a bit more fine passing the buck to me. And so yeah, I meet with, Monarch's telling me this, and so I pull out my piece of iron from my bag that I'm carrying and I swear my iron vow, and I will create that now. So, right, my vow. I vow to get the healers back from the raiders. Sure, good enough. I feel like this is definitely not just a level 1. This is at least a level 2 vow. And what else do I need to do? I just need to roll, I think, now. Yep. So now I gotta roll for this to swear an iron vow, because that's a move. So this is the first move I've actually done. My goodness. Swearing an iron vow. You can see here. You swear a vow, to complete a quest, you roll on this thing. So I will roll this. Adds, since this is to a connection, I can add +1. And what's nice is Foundry takes care of all the rest. So I click heart, it will add my plus heart. So first roll of the session, it's a strong hit. That's a good start. So you can see, my initial roll was 4. I have +3 heart, so I add +3. And I had my extra add since this was a swear and iron vow to a connection. So I have another +1. So my total was 8, which beats the 3 and the 1 rolled on the d10. So that's a strong hit. I am emboldened, and it is clear what I must do next. So I get to take +2 momentum, bumping me up to +4. And yeah, the path is clear. There's not too many complications in the way. So yeah, let me see what else, what it says here. Yeah, envision what this means, the context of the situation, depending on the result of the iron vow. Okay. Yeah, as far as setting up stuff, we're officially done. Like that was, you know, I could show you like it's, once you finish rolling, you're Ironsworn. You forged a galaxy, make your mark upon it. So that's literally the last step. Yeah, 2 hours almost into the stream, but we have an iron vow that we have sworn, and yeah, we got a thing to do. So with a vow like this, let me double check something before I just start making up stuff. Progress tracks. This is a level 2, so that means each time I mark progress, I'm gonna be marking 2 boxes. So the one thing the game recommends, and I like doing this a lot, is in each of the vows, is to kind of figure out a game plan. Like, okay, this vow, if I want to completely fill all the boxes in this, it's going to take me 5 steps. It's going to take me 5 steps to fill, because it fills 2 boxes at a time. So it's going to take me 5 steps to fully fill this. So what's my game plan look like? I need to reread the whole thing. Oh, wait, how about this? Whoops, what did I just do? Okay, full quest. Let me get the full quest text, so I need to so I don't have to stop. I don't have to keep flipping back here to see what's going on. Just paste that right here. So yeah, reactor exploded at a remote settlement, which was Lyra. Right, on the planet Siren, killing several people. Team of healers en route to provide aid were captured. To provide aid, I'm going to put in parentheses, they were going from Felicity, which is where we are now. Felicity. I spelled that wrong. Okay. They were captured by raiders. What do the raiders demand for their release? Okay. So, step 1. Well, I feel like it's first is somehow contact the raiders. I feel like right now we probably don't even know. Well, we know at this point, we know that they've been captured. That's a given. What do they demand for the release? So maybe we don't know yet. Maybe that's part of it. Is they're like, we've got these your healers here, and if you want them back, reach back out or something. I don't know. Basically, like they maybe didn't give an offer right away. So what do they demand for the release? Maybe they don't. We don't know. So maybe that's the first step: is figure out what the raiders want. I feel like this is like a pretty straightforward test. We need to figure out what the raiders want. I guess like just negotiate a fair, I don't know, option, outcome, I don't know. And then I'm trying to think, so like what other steps would there be to get these raiders? So maybe they, you know what, I like, maybe part of this is also getting in touch with them. Like maybe they're not nearby, so they just sent a message. So like part of the problem is we got to figure out how to get back in touch with them. Just to add another like, you know, thing I could do here. So I need to get in touch with them somehow, figure out what they want, negotiate a fair option, I guess then at that point just make sure that the healers are safe. Like I'm trying to think of like, I don't want to like, they don't need to be brought, but just like yeah, safely, I don't know, pick up maybe the healers slash safely pick up slash like, I don't know, recover, maybe that's a better word, recover the healers. And then maybe the last step is a journey part to actually go bring them to where they needed to go to actually do their job. So transport healers to Lyra is like the final step of this quest. Yeah, that seems pretty good. That seems realistic, and I feel like we got a pretty good outline of like what needs to be done at this point. So reactor exploded on Lyra, killing several, exposing others to radiation, lethal radiation. Team of healers en route to provide aid from Felicity were captured by raiders. What do they demand? We don't know what they demand. I do want to maybe get a name for these raiders, because I feel like these are the same raiders that are causing like the sector troubles. So these are probably going to be frequent people that are going to be appearing in the story. So let's go to the Oracle table and roll up some names. Which I'll probably just do some faction. And let's see, name template. So I'll probably just do like the legacy raiders. So let's just see like what legacy I get. Maybe I'll roll like twice just to get a couple options. The Silver Raiders, the Silent Raiders, Sundered Raiders, the Undying Raiders, Supreme. Let me roll one more time. These are along the lines. The Golden, Hidden Raiders, Sundered. I kind of like the Silent Raiders. I feel like that's a pretty cool like faction name. So maybe I'll just create a new like little, I don't know, call this like factions, just to have a way to manage these a little bit more. Factions, and just add a new faction called the Silent. Is that? I don't know if that's a Silent Raiders. I don't know if I love that, to be honest. I think I like Undying a bit more. The Hidden. No, we'll go Silent. The Silent Raiders. Sure. Maybe they're very stealthy. And yeah, I just wanted a name. Just want a name, because these are probably the same people causing us our faction trouble. So I'm gonna pop back to my character sheet and we'll add that little detail in there real fast, just to make sure got everything all straight before we start figuring out how to actually complete this quest. So Raiders, let's see, captured by Raiders, which I'm just gonna put parentheses, Silent Raiders. Boom. Okay. So that's what we know. So steps to complete this mission. I need to get in touch with the raiders, figure out what they want, negotiate a fair option, safely recover the healers, and then finish the transporting them to Lyra so they can actually deal with the explosion and whatnot there. So, okay. Seems like we got a pretty good starting quest. So, getting in touch with the raiders. What I need to think what that would like involve. So I imagine like they sent like a message or something to Felicity. I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be too hard to get in touch with them, because they probably want to be, you know, if they're trying to make a deal, they're not probably to try not to like avoid us or anything. But they're also, you know, trying not to probably be too close or something to like show their hand of where they are or whatnot. So they're probably being, it's just probably a bit of a pain to maybe find like the channel they're on or something. So yeah, maybe let me look at. So these are kind of over here. These are all the different moves of the game I kind of talked about earlier. Moves are kind of different actions you could do, and you can see here in Foundry they do a really nice way of categorizing the moves in different categories based on like what they do. So you have like your combat moves, which are for combat. Your exploration moves is for exploration. So adventure moves are kind of the general ones. So I kind of want to see here. So maybe we need to gather information. So this is when you search for clues, conduct an investigation, analyze evidence, or do research. So I feel like this is the first part, is that we got the message. We just need to figure out how to contact these raiders. You know, like what channel to pick them up on, which I'm not the most technically inclined person, but I am the person behind this job. So maybe Monarch, you know, trying to think here, right? Because I'm probably not acting solely alone in this. Like, the negotiations is not going to be solely up to me. Like, I imagine, you know, when I'm trying to, like, once we get in contact with these raiders, like, I'm in the hospital or like wherever this team of medical people came from. Like, I'm with their leaders. Like, this is not my decision to make. I'm just the one kind of in charge of trying to figure this out, because everybody else is like doing their jobs of doing whatever. And this is, you know, negotiation stuff. This is my wheelhouse. So so we'll say, like, I'm gonna make another name real quick. I want a name for the healers. Like, what I kind of want a name of, like, just the faction for, like, with these healers. Like, do these healers have like a faction name? Like, I like having faction names. So I want a name for these, like, I don't know, this hospital, whatever this medical facility is that I am helping out. So we have the affiliation of the legacy identity, affiliation of the legacy, the dice are getting on top of the buttons, the Federation of the Serene Raiders. Okay, I like Federation and I like Serene. Raiders makes no sense. Let me see. Let me just look at this real quick. Federation of Serene. I feel like healers or something like that is what it needs to be. Keepers, maybe that would be good. Servants, that would also maybe not be bad, but I don't know, that kind of gives more like slave, like worker vibe than just like a doctor healer type thing. But servants, I mean, I don't know, that might fit. Sentinels, seekers. I'm just trying to want a good name. I want to get a good name. Menders. Okay, there we go. The Federation of the Serene Menders. Okay, that's a cool name. I'm glad I picked that out. So just add that in here. Just making a whole list of different faction names. And now I just have this area if I want to add in more like info about it. So Federation of the Serene. Did I spelled that wrong? How do you spell serene? What was it? Oh my goodness, that was pretty far off. So there's no E in there's no C in serene. I'm dumb. Serene. Oh, what did I even say now? I closed it out. Serene Menders. Yep. Okay. So Federation of the Serene Menders is the name of the faction that sent out these healers to go to Lyra to investigate this explosion, and that, I guess, the Silent Raiders captured the healers along the way. So I'm going to head to the Federation of the Serene Menders, like headquarters here in Felicity, and use some of their equipment to help solve this issue. Like, I imagine they're cool with me, like, using some of their radios, especially because, like I said, I imagine that the higher ups at the Federation are gonna want to be like a part of the negotiation. They don't want me just making the calls. These are like some like healers, you know, some of their own people. They don't want them just, you know, they want me calling the shots, but they want me to like figure out, you know, they want me to do all the hard work, but that's okay. You know, that's what I'm here to do, is it's help people out. So, okay. So I head to the Federation's like main office, main location. And I imagine they have some like, I don't know, some kind of like back like electronics room. Like, I'm just imagining like a news anchor's like room type thing. Like, it's a normal like hospital, maybe like a medical training facility, but they have some like, I don't know, back comms room that they have a lot of their like electronics and communication in. And so I'm almost envisioning it kind of like a, I don't know, like a space station, you know, like room, or just like some seats, like a big screen stuff, maybe like that, kind of like that. Not exactly, but something along those lines. And so I head there to start trying to get and figure out how to get into contact with these raiders, and then try to just figure out how I'm going to figure this out. So, oh, and it might be too late for this, but hold on, I just want to check something. I should have added +1. When I rolled to... Yeah, when I swore my vow, I should have got +1. On a strong hit, I mark progress on the quest. Oh. So, and then when I fulfill my vow on a diplomatic mission, formidable or greater. Oh, and score a hit. So this bottom part won't apply to this quest, but this says, on a strong hit, mark progress on the quest. So I didn't... Oh, that's really cool. Okay. Well, that kind of changes a lot. So I'll show you how marking progress works. It's... Oh, I thought I opened that twice. My bad. I'm just like opening and closing stuff like crazy. So this is my vow to get the healers back. And it's really cool. You just click the little button, mark progress, and it does the whole cool little animation, and it fills in the boxes. So now, yeah, so we'll say, because I didn't realize that before, we'll say the first step of this is already done, and that, yeah, maybe I don't need to figure out how to contact them. That's already a thing. They've got the channel link. That's already step done for me. I don't even have to really worry about that. So, okay. Makes my life a bit easier. It's one less thing to worry about. We're already on our way. I'm glad I remembered that. Yeah, I kind of forgot that I got bonuses for swearing a vow to resolve a dispute or negotiation, which is definitely what this is. So, okay. So we have a contact with the raiders. We have the channel they're on, the frequency or whatever. So now it becomes, I need to figure out what the heck they want. Let me see, do my empath, this would probably be good, right? Oh no, this is a nearby being. I'm just seeing if this would help me at all. This doesn't really help me because it says, yeah, of a nearby being. Protocol bot, would this help me at all? When you're aided by your bot and you make a move in a formal interaction, +1. Would this be a formal and a social? No, I don't think so. I don't think this is formal. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the bot can help me. My empath ability can't help me. So I just need to figure out what the raiders want. So we're in this control room, right? I'm imagining, you know, like space headquarters kind of vibe, like a, you know, like a TV station, kind of like comms room. You know, got monitors, and people gathered around, microphone. I'm sitting in front of it, sweating, maybe, I don't know, pretty intense, and trying to figure out what the raiders want. So they have these healers. What do they want? And that's a great question. I have no idea what these raiders want. I kind of want to do an action theme roll to see maybe what they, or would that be a descriptor roll? We'll do action theme. Just let me see what I get, see if it makes any sense whatsoever. If not, I'll think of something else. Finish phenomenon. Finish phenomenon. What is descriptor focus? I'm just gonna roll in random tables, see if I get anything that sounds good. Active territory. So what do the raiders want? I mean, I feel like it'd be like a descriptor. Because I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, in my mind, like, what do the raiders want? So here's also the thing. Okay, I need to I'll ask the Oracle this. The one thing I was kind of thinking in the back of my head was, okay, maybe, because the whole thing was started, let me pull this back up. I keep closing out of it and opening it back up. This whole thing started because a reactor exploded on a remote settlement, killing several and exposing others to lethal radiation. My question is, and maybe I'll have to ask the Oracle this because I don't know. The one thing in my mind that went to is maybe this reactor is somehow medically related. So the Federation of, I already forget the name of this faction I came up with. The Federation of the Serene Menders. Like, this is their reactor. And maybe the raiders like knew that. And so they took these healers because they're like, bro, you just like exploded this reactor. And maybe these raiders have like, they set up shop near this reactor or something. So they're like affected by this. They're not too happy that this Federation is just blowing up reactors, intentionally or otherwise, on the settlement, and these raiders are being affected. I kind of like that angle, so I think I'm not even going to roll on the Oracle. I'm just going to go with it, because I think that makes sense. Like, the raiders were somehow affected by this explosion, whether the ship was damaged because they were nearby or whatever. And these raiders are mad. Maybe this reactor was related to some like medical testing going on this remote facility. Because I like the idea that it's somewhat related. It's related to the medical people that are also like en route. That yeah, they were doing it for testing or something. So okay, we figured out the raiders' kind of motivation. So they're mad because of this explosion. So then I guess, well, the question then is, what do the raiders want? So they just took these guys hostage. What do they want? I mean, obviously they want something. Yeah, maybe I want to roll. I need some more Oracle rolls because I don't know what they want. What's miscellaneous? We got anything good in here? No. Core. I'm gonna go with descriptor and something else. Foreboding demand. Give me a theme. I'm just trying to figure it's demand fear. Well, also, like, the thing I'm just trying to think of, like, okay, if it's this scenario, like, I just kind of weighed out that these raiders somehow got affected by this explosion and this lethal radiation. Maybe it said several people died. Maybe some of them were raiders. You know, probably most of them were related to the reactor, you know, working on the reactor, nearby, whatever. But I would like to also think that this reactor going off got a couple people that weren't involved with it, and that maybe that's how the raiders are linked up to this. I'm still trying to think of what they want. So they probably, I mean, they probably want the reactor off the planet. They wanted to do the reactor somewhere else that they're not set up shop by. I think that's just what makes the most sense. You know, if they are affected by this explosion, they're just like, no, get out of here. Like, this is our, like, we're set up at this settlement. Like, other people are too, but like, one reactor explosion, you're out. Okay, I kind of like that. So yeah, that's what they want. Let me see. I guess I probably should do the gather information to be sure, because I'm like searching for clues. Or would that be more? Let me see what compel is real quick. When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer. See, I'm not doing that yet. I feel like when I try to negotiate, I'll be compelling them. But right now I'm just trying to gather info. So I'm just kind of talking with them. I just roll plus wit, so I don't have anything to add for my assets or path, because I determined earlier I don't have much. So let's see, am I able to actually gather that info? Oof, it's a weak hit. So it provides an insight, but also complications. Vision what you discover, take +1 momentum. Okay. So, oh, also, I forgot to do this earlier. When you have a character track, like a progress track for a person, there's certain things that can affect that and like make you basically like further your relationship with that person. And swearing a vow is like one of the top things to develop your relationship. So I should have marked some progress here with Monarch after swearing this vow to complete this for them. Okay, back to the task at hand. So I was trying to gather information with these raiders, seeing what exactly they want. The information provides a new insight, but also complicates your quest. I mean, I feel like what I described earlier does that, but does it do it enough? Because the raiders basically want the reactor somewhere else. Because it provides new insight, it provides what they want, it provides a complication, like, okay, this place has to like move the reactor somewhere else. Like so like they're yeah, maybe they're definitely not providing any solutions. They're like, you just got to move this reactor out of here, get off this settlement. We don't want you. It's kind of the message the Silent Raiders are sending. Okay. Well, regardless, information is information, and that is more progress towards this vow. So, okay, we know what they want. So now I need to get a vibe check on the room that I'm in to see how everybody is feeling at the Federation with what's being demanded by the Raiders. So I'm kind of looking around, you know, being like, okay, this is what they're saying. Is this something that's able to be completed? Like, could you move your reactor off, or would there be like issues involved? So maybe I'm gonna ask the Oracle. I don't think I've done this yet, and I'll say what would. I'm trying to think of the right question to ask. I think I want to ask something like, is it, could the Federation move the reactor somewhere else? Or like, is it something specific with the settlement, with this planet, the space location, wherever it has to be here? Is that a thing? I think it's probably unlikely that it has to be here at that place, that it probably could be moved. So, let me, yeah. Is there a reason the settlement has to be at this planet? I'll flip the question. Can this reactor go elsewhere? I'll say likely. Let's see what they say. Yes. Okay. The reactor could go elsewhere. They can move the reactor. Obviously, it's probably a lot of work and time, but it's not like that reactor had to be at that location for a specific reason. Maybe they just, you know, had the land available or had the people there, so they put the reactor up. Okay, so it does seem like there's from what I'm getting from the higher ups here at the Federation, this seems like a pretty fair trade. They want the reactor moved, they get the healers back. Okay. Well, there's really no negotiation that needs to happen then. Right? So maybe I'll compel them. I'll still do the compel move just to be like, okay, we'll accept your terms. You know, they'll move the reactor if you give back these people. And so let's see. I'm going to try to charm, encourage them. You know, I'm not going to try to threaten or lie to them. I don't think I have anything to roll or add, so I'm just gonna roll plus heart. Oh, that's not looking great. Oh, it's a strong hit. Okay, cool. So I take +1 momentum, and it says, yeah, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions. So it seems like we get in touch with them. They're talking about moving the reactor. Higher ups are like, it'll be a lot of work, but it's doable. There's no reason like that reactor has to be there specifically. So we make more progress on this track. Mark a little bit more off of that. And okay, so then I imagine they're probably, am I gonna have to travel to, so maybe I'll try to go to the, because part of this was safely recovering them, but let me I'm going to open this up. I just want to make sure I read this fully. A team of healers en route were captured, so they didn't make it there yet. That's the thing I'm trying to like piece together in my head. So okay, they're like maybe okay, and yeah, I'll say also when we were making negotiations with the Raider, it's probably just assumed that though the reactor is going to be moved, we still need to get these healers there to go heal people to kind of fix this issue that has been caused. So, okay, yeah, so they know like the healers need to come back. Now I like the idea that the Raiders, yeah, they're maybe in the area of Apex, so they're like, we're just gonna drop the healers off at Apex. If you want to bring them to Lyra and have them heal them up, go for it. So maybe the Raiders are like near Apex. So I'm gonna have to travel to there, pick up the healers, and since, and then I'll have to take the healers to Lyra. The other thing I kind of like also that I didn't really talk about, but like they were captured en route. So maybe also part of the negotiation was not only do they have to move the reactor, but also the raiders get to keep the ship that they took. Because, I mean, they were flying, the medical facility was flying, or the team was flying en route to Lyra on like a ship. So I imagine the raiders, boarded it, breached it, captured the crew, took the ship. They're like, if you want the people back, fine. We'll throw them on Apex. Go get them. If you want to take them to Lyra, go bring them there. We're keeping the ship. We're going back to Lyra. So I feel like that's probably where the negotiations landed. So that means I need to travel to Apex, pick up the medical people, bring them to Lyra, and it's gonna be a lot of traveling. So let's get moving. Hop onto Firebreak and start just traveling away. Go to the loading dock area, hop in the ship, start turning everything on, fire up the engines, and start making my way to Apex to go grab the medical team there that the raiders hopefully left. I mean, that's what they said they would do. Hopefully it's very much that we're both relying that everybody keeps their word. If the medical team is there, they'll move the reactor and whatnot. So, okay. I think I just need to do set a course, right? I'll double check, but I think that's the whole point of passages is that you can set a course instead of doing a whole expedition for moving. Let me triple check before I make a fool of myself here. So build a starting sector. Passage. When following a passage allows you to resolve the outcome of a perilous journey with a single dice roll using the set a course move. Makes it easier to manage your resources, shifts the focus of your story to what happens at your destination. Cool. So I just need to do a set a course move. So I fire up the ship, set the coordinates for Apex, and head on our way. I guess I roll plus supply. Is that really what I roll? I guess so. I don't know why I keep closing out my character sheet. I just don't want stuff open, but at the same time, it's like I need to keep referencing it. Sorry. I just wanted to see real quick. Is that... Yeah, you roll plus supply. So I got a lot of supply, so this should be pretty good. Should be a pretty easy journey, maybe. Strong hit. Cool. Reach your destination, and the situation there favors you. Take +1 momentum. Momentum is at 7. That is real nice. That's gonna come in handy. Pretty simple journey to Apex. Follow the passage. Doesn't take too long. There are a couple of the interstellar travel in this system. It's like you go for a couple hours. You have to let the engines kind of recharge, and you go for a couple hours. In the game, it kind of describes it as like skipping a stone across the pond. It goes for a little bit, takes a break, goes for a little bit, takes a break. But yeah, after this isn't too far of a journey, and we rolled good, so it is pretty quick task to get to Apex. And this is I forgot what was this situation. It's an orbital settlement with hundreds of people, and they're focused on expansion and mining. So that's a thing. So, we get to Apex and pull in the docking area. I imagine, let's see, it's the Tolerant Authority, so maybe I can also, now that I'm actually like rolling up here, get a couple of first look stuff. First look, it has beautiful architecture and built from organic materials. What kind of settlement troubles they have? Caught in the crossfire. Okay. So, really nice looking place, built from organic materials. So, a lot of organic materials, a lot of stuff from nature. It looks pretty organic, even though it's an orbital space station. But yeah, they're focusing mining and expansion. But not too worried about the settlement itself. I go into the bay area and park the ship. And I head to the area that supposedly the raiders left this medical team. This journey probably took me a while, so I have to go find them and make sure they're actually here. So maybe that would be a gather information role. Like I gotta go figure out, like they kind of gave me an area, but it took me a while to get here, so they might not be exactly like, it's not like these people are gonna stay in one place, you know, they're people, they're gonna do things. So maybe I'll do a gather information role to try to find where these people are, where the medical team is, and if they are safe. So I roll plus wits to see, can I find these guys? This is a miss? Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, that means your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. I shouldn't have rolled for this, because now we got a situation on our hand. A dire threat or an unwelcome truth. Well, this is such an interesting time to roll this. Also, like, my momentum's only 7, so even I can't burn that. Well, I could, but then the other, it would still be a miss. Ooh. And I had nothing to help me, right? Like my protocol bot. Yeah, no, that wouldn't have helped me. Shoot. Well, this is bad. What does this mean? So I was looking for the medical crew, came to this place. I rolled a miss. Unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth. So I'm just trying to think, like, in my mind, like, okay, got a couple options. Option 1, just straight up can't find them. Option 2 is maybe they're not all there. I don't know. I mean, what else besides I couldn't find them? Or, like, if I did find them, what else could have happened? Story clue? There's a story clue table. What's that? What's rolling that? Leads to a nearby or familiar place. Wait, what? I'm gonna roll that again. I still have to also pay the price, which is gonna be annoying. Descriptor plus focus. Okay, I want something generic like that. Yeah, give me a descriptor focus. I just need something like, what happened to these people? Guarded portal? What does guarded portal mean? Man, I need to think about this, because I need to think of something, you know, something good. What happened? If any of y'all watching live, if you have a good suggestion, feel free to throw it in chat. I need to try to figure out, like, what happened to these medical people. You know, this medical team was supposedly supposed to be here. That's where the raiders were supposed to leave them. But I rolled a miss. So dire threat. Unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth. So there's either a new... Oh, the one thing I didn't also... Okay, one thing I just thought of is maybe it's a trap, right? Maybe the team is there where they were supposed to be. We get there, and, like, the raiders are there, ready to start a fight, to maybe backstab us. That could be something that's a little bit more interesting than them not being there, but I don't know. Story clue could lead to a nearby place. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I can't think of anything good. Guarded portal. Let me roll description or focus again. Maybe get something else. I can get some idea. Empty fleet. Okay, well, I mean, that's empty fleet. That means that would kind of just imply that I couldn't find where these people went. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, what... I mean, I think it makes the most sense that they're just not here. The crew isn't here. Why is the crew not here, bro? What are these raiders up to? I guess I can ask the Oracle. Okay, I'm gonna decide. The crew's not here. That's what's happened. I also, since I rolled a miss, I have to pay the price. I think I talked about this earlier. Pay the price. Throw it in chat here so you can kind of see it. It's this move. It's the bad stuff move. So the first thing is you just make the most obvious negative outcome happen. You can ask the Oracle for inspiration, or you can just roll on a table for, there's like a pay the price table. Which, I mean, I think that, what's the pay the price table? I mean, I think it works, we're harmed, okay. Okay, so yeah, there's, do I have to make a suffer move? No, it's just pay the price. I mean, I think that's pay the price enough. What, empty fleet, they're just not there, and we don't know why. So we're just kind of like at a dead end. Not a dead end, but they're not there. So, and maybe I get stressed. Maybe I was a bit of like spirit. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I'm like a bit stressed, just a bit disheartened. So I was a bit of spirit also, just to have that pay the price part in there. Okay, I kind of like that. So we get to Apex, look around, start asking around, trying to find this medical team. We have an idea of what they're supposed to be, maybe like a bar or like a general area of the settlement that they're supposed to be, and they're not there. Can't find them, don't know where they are. So then here is my next question. Were they here? Maybe were they here and they left? Were they never here? So I'm gonna maybe, okay, if they're not here now, I want to maybe try to gather more information and see, okay, if they aren't here now and I can't find them, then I'm gonna go around to the spot they're supposed to be and ask, like, were they here? Like, if they're not here now, maybe this is a better question for the Oracle, actually. Because, I mean, I already can't find them. So I'm gonna go with maybe likely that, or no, maybe I'll go with unlikely that they were here. But I want to know for sure if they were seen at all in my journey. Did anybody see these people that have this medical team, you know, lab coats and all? Maybe the Federation has some specific like logo or emblem that I can kind of use to be like, oh yeah, they got that whole, I described the logo. So when we ask the Oracle, was this medical team actually seen by anybody here at Apex? I'm gonna say it's unlikely. Oh, okay. They were seen here. Huh. Well, this is getting more interesting now. What's going on? So, yeah, we'll say like there is like a specific, we'll say like a room, an area, whatever, that they were supposed to be like in, you know, like a mod, you know, where they have a couple rooms with like a living area connected and whatnot, that they were supposed to be in. I go to that area, they're not there. I ask the people around, they were seen here, they're not here anymore, at least not that I can see. Maybe it's been, you know, a little bit since they were last seen. So now I need to figure out where the heck they went, why they left. This is weird. What is going on with this medical team? Did they leave on their own? Were they kidnapped? Was this like a trick to just... I have no idea. I don't even know where to like start looking. So they're not here, but they were here. But they're not anymore. Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way where to even look for them then. This is the thing. I'm like, where they, why they left, whatever. Where do I even look for them? Because if their ship got captured, unless okay, the one thing that just came to mind is like, what if the medical team was kind of in on it, right? And so like they got captured, and maybe these people that were going here, it's going to the reactor, they like knew the danger of the reactor, like it blew up, so they know it's dangerous, and maybe they weren't a fan of it. So maybe they either like didn't put up a fight when the Raiders captured them, or maybe they actually reached out to the Raiders. But I kind of like the idea that maybe some, if not all, of this medical team was possibly in on it, and maybe that's why they're not here. Okay, so I like that possibility. That would be cool if that was the case. How would I even figure that out? So okay, I kind of have an idea. Maybe I'll see. What was my? I'm gonna do another gather information. Maybe I'll try to figure out where their ship is. See if it's anywhere here at the settlement. I think I would have. Excuse me. I think I probably would have gotten at least a description. I probably have some way I could track this ship. Maybe Monarch gave me a description. You know, maybe ships have like a VIN number type situation that I can like, or like a specific channel that I can like broadcast to see if they're like within range. I don't know if that's a thing. If I can like track if a ship's around. I guess let me ask the Oracle real quick. Would I feel like I would be able to, but let me make sure. I mean, if not, then I don't know what else I'll do. Do I have the capabilities here at Apex or on my ship to try to locate another ship nearby if I kind of know the details of it? I'm gonna say it's likely, but I don't know for sure. Yes, okay. So we'll see, yeah, maybe somewhere here at this settlement. If I needed to, I could try to like locate the ship that way. So maybe I'll do that. Like looking around, I was looking for the crew, this medical crew. So I imagine at least in my general like search around the settlement, I did not see the crew or the ship. But what I want to do is use some like communication systems and whatnot and try to just, you know, ping around and see if I can get like a read on their ship and see if they're like nearby, if it's actually, figure out where it is, and maybe see if the crew is like on the ship or with the Raiders. If the Raiders have the ship, maybe I can find the Raiders and confront them. So I think this is another gather information roll to try to locate the ship. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think I have any stuff I can add to this, so just using the technology, communication systems, beep boop. Can I find the ship? I could burn momentum to make this a strong hit. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Momentum burn. See, that's pretty cool. The one thing I like about Foundry, it does all of the lifting for you. You know, the rules, it just takes care of all the adding stuff, the character sheets, the tables. You just burn momentum, boom, it just set my momentum back to 2. Shows me now the strong hit. Like I really like Foundry for a lot of the automation stuff. Yeah, it's very cool. So I discovered something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or actually must take to progress is made clear. Envision what you learn, take +2 momentum. Cool. So first I'll go ahead and add back my momentum. Boom, +2. So, I mean, it seems like I locate the ship. That's strong hit. I discover something helpful. I locate the ship. And I think maybe, let me see. Is it on the settlement? Is it in the area? I mean, it's got to be somewhat close. Yeah, is it on the settlement? In the settlement? Or is it like nearby? So I guess I'll ask the Oracle. Ask the Oracle. Is the ship on the settlement? I'm gonna say it's likely, but I don't know for sure. Let's see, 61. So yes, it does, at least from the readouts I'm getting on whatever systems I'm using. It does seem like this medical team's ship is still on the settlement. Interesting. Well, that's definitely some more progress towards my track, towards locating these guys down. Man, I'm really curious to know what what is going on with this team? So they weren't where they're supposed to be. I couldn't find the ship in my initial walkthrough, but clearly it's on the settlement somewhere. I mean, some back area kind of hidden away somewhere, but it's on the settlement, and I have an idea of where it is. So I think at this point it's just a matter of I'm gonna go try to find it. Hopefully the medical people are there. Hopefully the raiders are not, and hopefully we can resolve this issue. So I start looking around on Apex. You know, I have the coordinates, I have the general area of where the ship is supposed to be, so I just start heading to that area. And let's see, do I have anything to help me with this? I mean, I'm just probably proceeding pretty cautiously to hopefully not get spotted on the way there. Yeah, I was thinking of the survey bot. No, I took the protocol bot, which they haven't helped me much with anything yet, but that's okay. Okay, so I imagine after a short bit of time, I mean, I know where the ship is located, so it's probably a fairly big settlement, but at some point I managed to find it. So here's what I want to know. I see the ship. I have a bunch of questions that I need to start figuring out. So question number 1, I see the medical ship. Do I see a raider? Is there any sign of the raiders nearby, or is it just the medical team? I'm gonna go it's unlikely that the raiders are here. I don't know for sure. I think it's unlikely though. So let's see. Are the raiders present? Do we see a ship or them at all? And we got a big old no. So no raiders. We see the medical ship. Do we see the medical team? I would say it's probably almost certain. If we didn't see them in their original location, the ship is here. The raiders are not here. Is there any signs of the team being here? I'm gonna go with almost certain because I think it really is almost certain. Yes. Okay. So sneak up, see the ship. Don't see any raiders, don't see any raider ships, and there's signs of the team. Maybe they're out repairing the ship. I could see like lights on board or something, who knows, but I can see that they're in the ship. Okay. I gotta go confront these people now and figure out what's going on. Did they side with the raiders? Is this an inside job? Is this something they just made up their mind about along the way? I'm really curious. So, let's go, I guess, figure out. So, we're in this little back area of the settlement. I'm kind of envisioning it like, I don't know, like a maybe like a big old warehouse garage type area that the ship was stored in. So it definitely wasn't visible. Yeah, I mean, there's maybe like windows, like, or something. So like, it's not easily visible from the outside, but if you know where you're looking, which I did, because I was doing the information, got the information, I got the readouts, got the coordinates, so I knew where to go. I could see the ship. So I'm trying to think of the best way to go about this situation. What is the best way to engage this without like threatening these people, without, you know, putting them on edge, just trying to ask questions without trying to, like, I don't know, come off as aggressive, or I don't want them running away or anything or starting a fight, right? I need to come up with something good to say to them. Let me think of what that would maybe be. Would that be like a compel? Or just gather info. I'm just trying to think of face danger. I'm just trying to think of like what I want to do some move to, like, it would probably be compel. Just to like walk in and just try to greet them and say, you know, like, oh, hey, you know, and introduce myself, tell them like I'm no threat. I've been sent from the Federation on Felicity to see what happened to you guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna, that sounds like a great compel move. And I feel like this is a pretty, this would be a formal social interaction. I feel like I should be able to use my protocol bot for this, so I'm going to. If I get a strong hit with a match, I could get something cool. And I'm going to roll heart because I'm definitely trying to like charm, encourage, you know, I'm trying to, you know, be chill about it. Not trying to threaten, not trying to lie. Very calming presence. Let's see how they take this. Please roll low. Okay, weak hit. It's not bad. So they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, but their agreements come with a demand or complication. Vision their counter offer, take +1 momentum. Okay, so I take a 1 momentum. So yeah, like I said, I imagine I'm envisioning some sort of like, you know, warehouse, garage, enclosed building. So I just come in, open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur? No. I open the door, you know, tell them, I'm like, hello. And they like probably all jump, and you know, some of them have like weapons that probably draw them. And I'm like, whoa, let's chill out here, right? And I tell them who I am, a wayfinder. I was sent from the Federation of, I keep forgetting this Federation name. They got a long name. Federation of the Serene Menders, of course, to investigate what happened to you guys. I went to go pick you up, and you weren't where you're supposed to be. And yeah, I was able to track you down, but what's going on? What I thought this ship was captured, and you are all here and not where you're supposed to be. This is an odd predicament to be in. What's going on? And so, it was a weak hit. So they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, but their agreement comes with a demand or complication. What could that be? So maybe they'll like hear me out, and they're gonna like, you know, not gonna like shoot me or anything, or like try to like run away. They're pretty maybe neutral. They'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, but it comes with a demand or a complication. Because at this point, I feel like I was just trying to like, yeah, I was just trying to, you know, ease them and to just trying to get some information. We'll start getting some information out of. Envision the demand or complication. Let me maybe roll an oracle. I don't know what they could be demanding from me. Hide world. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Hide world, yeah. So maybe I'm gonna talk with them, but they're like, okay, we'll talk, but they're like, don't, at least for the time being, they were like, don't tell anybody where we are. We want to remain hidden. I'm like, fair enough. You know, I'm not gonna go pulling out my personal communicator and ratting yet. I mean, yeah, I don't say yet, but I just say, you know, I'm not gonna do that. And I just want to get some more info from them. So yeah, maybe that's it. That they are fine talking with me. They'll maybe let me get some info, but like they're not, yeah, they don't want me telling anybody where they are, at least for now. Who knows? But they're like, at least with this, like they're like, maybe they even tell me like, hand over your personal communicator. So maybe that's what they're saying. They're like, hand it over, just so you're not phoning anybody. And I'm like, okay. So I want to try to gather some info from these guys and figure out what happened. I want to really get to the heart of like what. So supposedly these raiders took these guys hostage, took their ship, and left them here. But did these raiders even exist? Was this whole story made up? Did these people side with the raiders? Were they in on it from the beginning? Did they stage this? Like, I have no idea. So I'm gonna start asking questions, and let me just see overall what kind of info I could get from them, and then I'll figure out what exactly that info is with like the oracle. Okay, so let's see how good I am at gathering information to figure out the whole story. Oh, that's a 9. Oh, that's bad. Oh no, this is so bad. What's going on? I can't burn momentum. I am rolling real bad. So, oh gosh. Your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth. Huh. Okay. So they took my personal communicator. They're like, we don't want you telling anybody where we are. And then I try to ask them, like, okay, what's going on? Why are you here? I thought you were captured. Why weren't you supposed to be? Yada, yada, yada. And they are not being very cooperative. And it unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth. So I'm trying to figure out, because I got a couple of like theories right now. Like I said, maybe the Raiders didn't even exist and this was all just like made up, or maybe these people were in on it. Maybe they staged it with the Raiders, or maybe they weren't in on it. They got back here, they found the ship and they're like trying to steal it. I don't know. It could be anything, right? We still don't know what's going on. All I know is these people, they don't want me communicating with the outside world for some reason. Like they're very keen on keeping stuff private. So I'm like, okay, whatever, man. What? I'm trying to think of which of those options would be like the least good. Like what would be revealing an unwelcome truth? I feel like if it was just like the Raiders weren't in on it, they got captured, and maybe they were just like scared, so they're trying to just take the ship. That I don't like that one very much. Unwelcome truth. I kind of like it unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. See, it has to undermine my quest though. That's the thing. I'm like, okay, they could be like the Raiders never existed, but then it's kind of good because it doesn't really do much. I'll be like, oh, these guys are fine. I mean, I guess. There's a dire threat reveals an unwelcome truth. I don't know. What could these? What's the deal with these people? Maybe you know what? I'll roll a story clue, and maybe I'll also roll something on like involves a personal item. Involves a personal item. I don't know how that could work. What is my pay the price? That's down here. I could like pay the price oracle. I'm gonna have to pay the price also. I'm trying to think here. Sorry. I don't know, because I feel like there's a lot of ways I could deal with this. I'm just trying to think of what makes the most sense for a miss. I know I should probably just pick something and go. I'm getting a little caught up here, but I like this idea of where this is going. So, supposed to say this medical team, they weren't there. The Raiders supposedly took the ship's there. People, they're like, okay, take your communicator first. So they took my communicator. I started asking questions, and I imagine with a miss, not only do I not get a lot of answers, but one of the answers I get obviously leads to something not good. I'm a little stumped at what I should put. I'm open to suggestions. I'll also hit up the Oracle, maybe get a descriptor focus. Shrouded illusion. Okay. So I kind of like Shrouded Illusion. I think that kind of works with what I was saying earlier, that I kind of like the idea that maybe there weren't any Raiders, like, at all. And that this medical team, like, well, it's not that they didn't want to do their job, but they knew maybe something with this reactor was going to happen, so they're very against this reactor. Now that they had to go and fix it, they're like, this is dumb. We got to like figure out a way to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. I also like the idea that maybe this is like a two-pronged thing. Like, these medical people didn't like the reactor, so we're trying to do that, but then they're also playing the other side of like, okay, we're gonna mimic like try to, yeah, we're gonna mimic like the raiders and say that we got captured. So not only are they trying to work the reactor angle of like trying to get that shut down and whatnot, but they're also maybe trying to make the raiders look bad, and like they're impersonating them. That's where I was like, they like impersonating them to maybe make them look worse in the eyes of the Federation. So maybe there's like kind of two motives of like shutting down the reactor while also making the raiders like look worse, or maybe like there's already some conflict with like the Federation and these raiders, and maybe these people just want to add like fuel to the fire. So I kind of like that. That's kind of how the Shrouded Illusion could play into effect, is there were no raiders that captured these people, and yeah, maybe they don't love the raiders, so they're trying to like pit the Federation against the raiders. I like that. Okay. So I don't know if there's much else for me to do here, right? Because there's no way these, well, I mean, I imagine I'll have to ask maybe the Oracle here, but with this healer team, like I imagine they're not going to want to go back to Felicity. I don't know. They stole their own ship. They did this whole thing. It kind of makes me think that they're just going to go, not rogue, but just like go somewhere else, like off the grid. They're like, we're done with the Federation. We're going to like some other sector, you know, some other part of space. We're getting out of here. We're done with like the Federations. Maybe this was their way out, not way out, but like, yeah, this is how they left the Federations. They're like trying to, you know, deal with the reactor situation, make the raiders in a worse position, and leave. I kind of like that. So I mean, that's kind of what makes the most sense, unless they were just trying to. So let me maybe see. I'll ask the med team. Do you have any intentions of coming back to Felicity? I'm gonna go with unlikely. There still might be a possibility, but it's unlikely. No. I think it's probably what I first said. Yeah, maybe they are fed up with the Federation for one reason or another, overworked, the reactor thing, maybe problems with the raiders, whatever. And so they're like, we're out. So they staged this whole thing. They're gonna take the ship and bounce. I like that a lot. I think that's you know, whatever. I mean, these people are still gonna be dying on this planet because this reactor is still an issue. You know, it exploded. And these medical teams just like, well, obviously it's an issue, but like, I don't know. They're more concerned with, they're done with their healing days, I guess. They're done with the Federation, so they don't really care about trying to fix this explosion. And I think with that, we can mark another progress in this track. And I said I vowed to get the healers back from the raiders. I guess I didn't. What am I gonna tell Monarch and the Federation? Do I just tell them what happened? I think that's probably the right choice, is just tell the truth. Or do I lie? I mean, I'm gonna have to lie to somebody, because I feel like this med team, I mean, they took my communicator. They didn't want me telling their location now. But I also feel like maybe they're not too worried about me telling where they are going to be, because by the time I would even get back to Felicity, tell the Federation, they're probably going to be long gone out of here, so it's not really going to matter if I like tell them about like where they're at and whatnot. So yeah, I guess I just I'm like, well, best of luck to you, med team, on your new adventures, Federation free, I guess. And I'll just I'll let them be. I don't know. It seems like they can't really be convinced. They barely wanted to tell me anything. I guess, you know, I could try to convince them to come back. Maybe I should. They seem like they didn't want to, but it doesn't mean that I can't put up a good argument, right? I'm a bit of a negotiator, a bit of a diplomat. I feel like that's something I can maybe do. Yeah, so let me try to compel them, try to charm, put a little heart, be like, come on, Felicity, the Federation, is it really that bad? Like, these people are dying. Are you really gonna just leave them? I'll see if I can make a compelling argument for these people to come back. It's a strong hit. Really? Interesting. So, okay. A bit of a negotiator. So yeah, they don't want to come back, but they're not opposed to the idea, I guess. I'm a pretty good negotiator. I don't know what to say. I maybe talk up the Federation. I like, maybe they tell me some of their woes, and I'm like, oh, we can help get that fixed. They're like, oh, we're work too much. I was like, I'll talk to your boss. I was with him in the comms room the other day trying to track you guys down. So we're like this. Yeah, and so maybe how about this? I like the idea that they're pretty set on not coming back, but I like the idea that maybe that compel was more for if I can at least compel them to go to Lyra and heal the people there and then do whatever afterwards. Because, like, you need to at least finish this job. Because I kind of like the idea that these people are just kind of doing their own thing, separating whatever. But I feel like if these people dying on this settlement because of an explosion at a reactor, maybe the medical team should go see to that, even if they're done with the Federation after this. So we'll say that's what my argument was maybe not to come back to the Federation, but to at least finish your task. Like, okay, if you want to go AWOL, take the ship, whatever, I'll tell, the Federation something when I get back to HQ. But, like, you really need to go help those people out that are on that planet. There's some of your own people, some of the Raider clans, like, a lot of people probably got hurt. So after a bit of convincing, I tell them, I convince them that, they're going to go to Lyra to actually finish the job of, like, helping the people there in the explosion. And then, yeah. Now, here's the question, though. So what do I tell HQ? This is going to be interesting. I'll figure that out maybe on my flight back. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ponder that because that's gonna be an interesting thing to navigate. But I'm like, okay, they're at least gonna go heal up the people, so the people there will be fine, and then these people will do whatever. Okay, problem solved. So what I'm gonna do then is, yeah, I guess let me look at my quest moves. So I need to. There's the fulfill your vow. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna mark more progress because I definitely did more stuff with kind of resolving that, and then I'm going to fulfill my vow. So, there's no, like, button to roll for this, which I don't know why. Oh wait, there is right here, right? Oh, make a progress roll. Okay, cool. I kind of forgot that was there. So for this vow, I can roll, as long as I don't roll a 10. Ah, man, shoot. God damn it, this quest is not going good. Your vow is fulfilled, but there is more to be done than you realize, or you realize the truth of your quest. How is it? I can't believe I rolled a 10. And that's the thing that sucks is, like, as you can see here, I filled in all the boxes, but you can still roll a 10. And if you roll a 10, it's still a weak miss, so. Okay, well, the vow is fulfilled. There's more to be done. If you swear an iron vow to set things right, take full legacy rewards per the vows. Otherwise, mark the reward one rank lower. Well, here's what actually. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna first do the set a course move to go actually fly back to Felicity. I want to say I did that first. Weak hit, jeez. I'll suffer cost en route, so either do a -2 move or 2 -1s. There are these suffer moves that you do to suffer stuff. So I like the idea, maybe I lose some momentum because I'm, like, delayed. And I like the idea that I also endure some stress because I am stressed out about this situation and how exactly to, like, resolve it. What am I going to say? I'm worried about the story. I'm gonna have to tell the Federation HQ about like what's gonna happen here. So it takes me a while to get there. I'm stressed along the way, but I make it back to Felicity. And so yeah, at this point now I'm gonna go back to like me actually fulfilling the vow. So I was back at HQ. I was just trying to think of like, okay, a weak hit. So the vow was fulfilled, but there's more to be done. You realize the truth of the quest. What could that mean? So there's gotta be more to this quest. What could it be? There's more to be done. So maybe the reactor still needs dealt with. Like, okay, this team, whatever. They're gonna go heal up, whatever. I think as far as the story I tell them, I mean, I think I lie. I think it's the only thing to do. I think I have to lie to the Federation, and I tell them that like, I basically. I tell them that I don't tell them the part about the Raiders not being real. I omit that part because that just makes stuff easier, and it doesn't make the medical people look as bad. It makes maybe I could just explain as they were maybe shooken up after and they got the ship back and they just wanted to bounce or something. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave out the part about the Raiders not actually being real, at least to the Federation. But okay, because then I think that would tie in nicely that a follow-up quest could be to actually go to Lyra and fix this this generator, or not fix it, but like clean up, move it, that whole thing. So yeah, we'll say that's what I gotta do. So first, let me do a couple things. This vow has been fulfilled. So, first I have to edit and click completed. The vow has been fulfilled. Then, because this was a vow for a connection, I get to mark off more stuff there, I believe. Right? Let me double check. Yeah, completing a quest on their behalf. So since this was a vow for Monarch, I can mark progress towards being best buds with Monarch. And yeah, so now I have to create another vow. I vow to help clean up and move reactor on Lyra. Yep. We'll say this is probably a pretty easy quest. I don't imagine there's too much to do. I imagine part of the problem is they're worried about the Raiders. Well, no, I guess they wouldn't be worried about the Raiders because the Raiders want this gone too. So it's not like, well, the Raiders want this reactor gone too, which maybe they actually do. Ooh, maybe they don't. That could be really fun. So the medical team was like acting as the Raiders, right? But maybe there actually are this group of Raiders that are on this planet that actually do want the reactor. Ooh, I like that a lot. And then like when I get there, there's gonna be like all this confusion. I mean, I like that a lot. That could be really interesting. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah. So maybe put this as a dangerous quest as well. Nothing too crazy, but I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park. I'm gonna have to travel really far to Lyra. I'm gonna have to go help make sure there's like all the medical like stuff is taken care of. Everybody's treated, the radiation's contained. You have to clean up the place, move the equipment, all this stuff. It's gonna be a process for sure. Let's do a quick plot of the game plan here. This is another 2 difficulty thing, so it's gonna take about 5 steps more or less. I could try to end the quest earlier, but I like to have a game plan going. So travel to Lyra is going to be the first step. I guess I need to provide medical help. Yeah, provide medical help. Even if I'm not doing it directly, I might not be the most medically inclined, but I can help get the doctors where they need to be, help transport supplies, like at least help in any way I can, whether I'm not actually like doing like a surgery or something, but I can still help. Try to help keep people's spirits up, whatnot. So I need to provide medical help. We need to clean up reactor mess. Well, actually, I feel like maybe contain radiation, or like resolve radiation leak, right? Because there's like radiation in the air. Maybe that's like an active issue I still have to figure out. Once we get the radiation, we have to actually clean up the mess. This thing exploded. There's probably metal and debris and stuff. And then clean up reactor mess and gather, I don't know, like whatever items, like whatever, gather, what's the word I'm thinking about? Like gather like stuff that hasn't been destroyed, like gather usable, that's what I was thinking, like usable like equipment, right? Equipment. And then 5 would be set up reactor in new settlement / area. I don't know. We got to move the reactor. That's like the end of the day. They still need this for testing or creating some drug. Who knows? Something medically related. This is what this reactor is for. Maybe providing power. I don't know. I don't actually really know. That's fine. We'll figure that out at some point. But I need to vow to help clean up this reactor. Okay, so that's kind of, yeah, maybe the Federation wasn't too happy with the result of like this, and they're like, yeah, this still needs done. This is still like a lingering problem, that even if that team does go there and help, help with the medical assistance there, are they actually going to? How much can they do? How bad is it there? So I feel like that there still might need some like medical stuff there done. So we got another quest directly related to the last one. But the other thing I gotta do is I get to take the full legacy rewards for that last vow. So that was a 2 thing, right? So I get to mark just 2 ticks, right? Yeah, dangerous is 2 ticks in my quests track. 1, 2, and that takes me halfway to getting my first bit of XP, which is pretty neat. And yeah, so I forget real quick. I need to look at something. I'll pull up the rules. I'm just curious. I kind of forget exactly when you mark off the discoveries thing. Because quests, you do that when you... Is it when you explore a waypoint or make a discovery? Is that... I just want to know, like, when do you mark to establish the nature? You may mark 2 ticks in your discovery. So whenever you make a discovery, when your exploration of a waypoint undercovers something. A waypoint is just like a point in space, right? Divert from an expedition to a notable location. Right. Yeah, maybe I could do some exploring on the way there too. I haven't done too much exploring. I can, yeah. See, I don't really think I guess I could. I don't know how I explore, because normally you explore when you do, when you undertake an expedition. So let me see real quick. Explore a waypoint. You divert from an expedition. See, normally I'll just be setting a course, so it's not really an expedition. It's just setting a course. Because I'm just going to take a passage to Apex, and a passage from there to Lyra. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be right back, though. I'll be back in like a minute or 2. All right, I'm back. Sorry. But, all right, so I wanted to keep going a little bit more. I know it's getting late, but I also did take a bit longer with the whole start of this than I kind of anticipated, so that's fine. I'm having a good time. I really, this adventure is really fun. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with this whole reactor situation now. The thing I'm really just, can I only do waypoint? Let me see real quick. I'm just trying to see if there's any, can I explore a waypoint when I set a course, which I don't think I can, but I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about maybe doing too much exploring. I just gonna focus a bit on this quest, see if I can make some progress and see what's going on. Yeah. So, actually, I mean, I was just in my head thinking about this outline I made. So I think in my last step, instead of moving the reactor, I don't think I'm going to make that part of this quest. I think I'm just going to clean up the mess, get usable equipment, and then bring any parts and survivors like back to Felicity. Yeah, I like that. That sounds like a tight quest. So let's go ahead and just start moving on. I'm gonna hop in my ship, fire up the engines, and try to go fly to Apex. Going to set a course because I'm just going to be traveling along the passage, and let's see how that goes. Eesh, that doesn't look good. It's a weak hit. No. Okay, I arrive, but I'm suffering some complications. So I can either do some stuff en route or more complications. I like that. I'm gonna suffer more stuff en route. I think this time I'm gonna lose more momentum because I'm gonna just say it took me a little bit longer to get there again. And I think for the other stuff remove, I can sacrifice resources, right? I'm just trying to think of how. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just trying to think of like how that actually plays out in the game as well. Yeah, so like I don't know, maybe it takes a little bit longer, so maybe I have to dip into more of my rations on the ship. Between the last delay and this one, maybe at this point I'm starting to run a little bit lower on supplies and whatnot. So the extra delay, just I need some more rations and whatnot, extra stuff. But we make it to Apex. All right. Pretty, I gotta say simple, but I mean that was a 9 and a 10 we rolled. I got a 10, which is nice. I don't know if I've talked about this. I don't think I've mentioned this, but with your action score, it can't go above 10. So you can see here I had a roll to 6 and I added 5, but it only goes to 10, and that makes it so if you can only roll 10, you can't always succeed. There's always a chance of some failure. Like here, even though it was a 9 to 10, I mean I still barely beat it. So yeah, that's kind of another cool thing, that there's always a chance of failure, which I like. Adds a little bit of excitement to this. So okay, Firebreak is chugging along. We arrived at Apex. The place looks a bit familiar, and I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. We dock for a little bit. Maybe I wonder how do I. To be honest, I don't even know how I resupply. That's what I was gonna see. Yeah, how do I resupply? Attempt to bolster your readiness and vision the opportunity of your approach. If you barter or make an appeal. Yeah. I think while I'm at Apex, I've never done this role before. This is the first time I've had to resupply. But I think, yeah, I mean, I feel like if I'm at a settlement, I want to equip up stuff. I mean, to get some more supplies, refill my rations, restock the ship, whatever I need, because I clearly keep getting a little bit lost along the way. It's taking a bit longer to get places. I'm gonna like barter, or appeal to people, or maybe I'll scavenge and craft. No, I'll barter. I'm a bit of a barterer. So let's see if I can gather some stuff. Kid. You must first deal with a cost, complication, or demand. Envision the nature of the obstacle and choose one. If you are unprepared, clear the impact and take 1 supply. Otherwise, take 2 supply. If you're in need of a specific item, take... Okay. So I have to first deal with a cost, complication, or demand. Envision the nature of this obstacle. Okay. What could be the issue here? Maybe I'll roll an oracle roll. I love rolling this. Let's just see if I can get something. But there's some complication with me trying to get some supplies here at this place. Distract disaster. Let me roll again. I don't know about that one. Avoid labor. What? I don't know how to make those work. I'm gonna roll one more time, maybe. I don't know. You gotta find something that works, but escalate nature. I also don't like that one. These are really not super helpful, or maybe I'm just not thinking of anything good. I have to think of some obstacle. Like what would be a complication or a cost? I'll say it just took a bit of time. Maybe it just cost me some momentum. I'm gonna bump my momentum down, and then I'll bump my supply up. And now we've resupplied. I think that's maybe the best way to do it. I don't really know what else to do. Maybe it just took me a while to find the rations I want, to get the supplies needed, so it just cost me a bit of time. And with that, I'm going to set a course to Lyra and head on my way from Apex. Should be a pretty easy travel, maybe, hopefully. We'll see. So that was a strong hit. Okay. And I just realized I forgot something. So it's a strong hit. So I get there and I can take +1 momentum. Awesome. Pretty easy flight to Lyra. Love that. The one thing I just realized, I forgot to do like a couple of things, and I apologize for. So first off, I swore a vow to help clean up the reactor. I never rolled to swear that vow, and I should have. I don't know why I didn't. I also should have done this. So let's see, whenever to negotiate or gather support, I would say that counts. So vow +1. So this is for swearing my vow after. I was just so caught up in like, they just gave me it directly after since it was related. I didn't even think about it. So I do get +2 momentum, great. And do I get something for a strong hit, or is that just for a match? What was that for my diplomat? Add +1 on a strong hit, mark progress on the quest. I also forgot, when you fulfill a vow on a diplomatic mission, oh, formidable or greater. Yeah, that last one didn't count because that was only dangerous, not even formidable. So, okay, that's good. I got my +2 momentum. The other thing I forgot is since I swore another quest to Monarch, they're a bit more friendly towards us now. And you know what? I think after I would have swore that other quest, I'm gonna do the develop your relationship. So I'm gonna make a roll to see if I can develop my relationship with Monarch. Make a progress roll. Strong hit. There we go. Okay, finally. If you already share a bond with them, do not mark progress. Instead, you roll plus their rank. So if I don't share a bond with them, which I don't, no. Do not mark progress. Instead, roll plus their rank to learn the impact of your legacy. Wait. Wait, I've never done this before, so I'm sorry. I'm like a little confused on the wording of this. If you share a bond, do not mark progress. Oh, that's if you share a bond, you do mark progress. Instead, you do this. On a strong hit with a match, So on a strong hit, mark 2 bond, two ticks. Okay, I think that's all I needed to do was just do that. I just wanted to get my 2 ticks towards my bonds to get some, well, I still need a little bit to go to get some XP. Yeah, so that's that. And I don't think, yeah, I don't change their track at all. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I think it's like the first time I've actually done that, maybe a second. I don't do that too often, so. But yeah, I imagine Monarch is probably just very grateful. I mean, we accepted their quest, we completed it, and they're like, right off the bat, they're like, we got another problem related to this last thing. This is something you can complete. And we're like, sure. So they're pretty happy. I imagine they're just a little bit more trusting of us now, a little bit more friendly towards us. Maybe we'll have more quests in the future. Just becoming closer friends and acquaintances. Yeah. So, okay. We have made it to Lyra. Beep, beep. No, wait, this is a planet-side one, so there's hundreds of people here. It's lawless. And the settlement project could include mining and entertainment. Okay. Okay. This is a planet-side settlement, so once we get there, we'll get a first look. Rustic architecture, precarious location. And then also, I could see some settlement trouble once I get there, which is failing technology. That kind of makes sense with the reactor, failing technology. Okay. Also, I believe I can get some more detail on the planet since this is planet side. I just want to see, I don't want to generate too much, but what can I can see the atmosphere observed from space and planet side features. The atmosphere, where is that? Here. It's breathable, thank goodness. Observed from space, we'll just do 1. Semi-frozen oceans and planet-sized features, we'll just do 1. Roaming icebergs. So it's an ocean world, but it's got a lot of frozen vibes going on. Okay. Cool. I just want to get a bit of, and they got failing. I like the, what's the description here? They got rustic architecture, failing technology, precarious location. Cool. Lawless, focused on mining and entertainment. That's pretty, I like that combination. I don't really know what that entails, but mining and entertainment, it's kind of a unique combo. So we get there, and because of that, that is kind of the first part of this quest. Also, I need to double check, but I think I would have marked progress. When you swear an iron vow to resolve a dispute, negotiate an agreement, or gather support. Resolve a dispute. Empath. I'm just trying to think of any of these. If I'm forgetting something. Yeah, okay. I just keep thinking of this. What am I thinking of? Hold on. Okay, whatever. So I get to this place. I guess the thing I was just thinking is I need to do this. So that was the first step, is getting to Lyra. I don't know if I went into too much description with this before, but I imagine when I left Felicity, the Federation, I'm coming here to help fix this problem. It's not just me. I imagine they sent a handful of people on the ship with me, to bring with me to here. Maybe a couple engineers, a couple doctors. Probably not a huge crew, nothing like my ship can't manage. I got extra room in the sleeping quarters and whatnot. So I brought some extra people along, got some maybe equipment to help, medical equipment, reactors, maybe equipment to help figure out the radiation situation, to clean up the mess, scavenge equipment, stuff like that. So my ship's probably pretty loaded out. So we get to Lyra and get to the reactor, the explosion. And it's probably looking not too good. So the first thing I kind of need to figure out is help provide medical help. I think I want to figure out exactly how I want to do that. I don't even know how. Okay, maybe that's how I can help with the medical stuff, is gathering information. So I'll go around and figure out who is sick, who is injured, who needs help, tell them where to go. Maybe we'll set up like a tent, or maybe they already have like a tent set up type situation. But I like that maybe I'm going out and trying to find people, get them going to the right areas, figuring out who needs help and whatnot. So I'm gonna go out and start doing that. That's probably a good way to help with all of this. My protocol bot could probably help out, because this is a pretty formal social interaction. Sure, you know what, I would say so. My protocol bot, I'm on a new planet, new settlement, they're probably helping me, and I'll figure out with the people's situation, calm them down, convince them to get help, whatever. So let's see, how am I doing in getting information about people? Cool. It's a strong hit. So I discovered something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learned. Take 2 momentum. Take my 2 momentum. Okay. So I think what I learned, it's a strong hit. So I imagine that I would like to say, with that gathering info, that the med crew I ran into a while ago did come by here. I'm kind of getting the lowdown of what's the situation been here, and I do get they aren't here anymore. Yeah, they aren't. We'll say that they aren't here anymore, but they did come by to help. There's still people that need help, but it seems like the number we got of people that were injured compared to the number that are injured now, it seems like there's like it's a lot better. You know, it's not as bad as we thought. The medical team that came here has helped. Stuff like, you know, there's been people kind of, you know, that are on the settlement doing what they can to help resolve it. So it hasn't gotten like worse. Maybe the situation isn't as bad as we originally anticipated, stuff like that. So yeah, and I get kind of a head count on like who needs help, get them going to the right spots, get all of that figured out. So yeah, that's definitely marking some progress. So I'm going around this, like, you know, this reactor, this is a planet-side like place, so it's a reactor that's like on this ocean world. So this whole area is probably just a mess with like the metal from the reactor, and there's still, at least where the reactor was, is probably like not quarantined off, but like fenced off and closed off, because there's radiation leak probably still happening somewhere. So the area is probably not good to go to. So what was the next step that I needed to do? So I guess resolve, the radiation problem. So that's going to be something. I think what would need to be done to solve a radiation problem in a reactor? I think there's probably, I mean, this is going to maybe show my, I don't know too much about nuclear reactors, or I guess I don't know what kind of reactor this is, but let's just say, I mean, there's some radiation parts that's probably nuclear. Like the nuclear core, whatever like the nuclear component is at the actual like maybe main part of the reactor has maybe been shattered. So we just need to maybe dispose of it, get it out of the area, put it in a capsule, launch it into space. I don't know. We just need to kind of grab the like container that's cracked, get rid of it, kind of clean up the area around it. I think that's just general face danger, because there's pretty much, I mean, there's like, if we figure adventure moves, there's pretty much only like 3 moves. There's compel, gather info, and face danger. That's pretty much it. There's secure advantage, which is you trying to like secure an advantage, is what it sounds like. There's also aid your ally. That's just for an ally stuff. Check your gears, just checking for a specific item if you have it. So maybe I'll try to secure an advantage of maybe trying to figure out exactly where this like reactor core is and the best way to get rid of it. I don't know. I'll just use my I'll use my resolve with sociability to maybe ask around, figure out like, okay, what's the best way to get rid of this? Like, how are we gonna do it? Let's kind of get this going. This is a miss. You fail or your assumptions betray you. Oh, what does that mean? So I'm not even trying to do much. I'm just trying to ask around, like, how do I get this reactor, this radiation out of here? And maybe like no one really knows, or maybe it has like no one has any good suggestions, I guess. So I guess that's something I kind of need to figure out. All right, well, I think I'm going to actually wrap up the stream here. Yeah, it's getting a little bit late. Like I said, I wanted to keep this, do this a little bit longer of a stream, just because it took me a little bit longer to get through the character creation, world creation, sector creation, all that stuff. But yeah, this was Starforged, Ironsworn Starforged on Foundry Virtual Tabletop. I really like this game. I have a lot of fun with it. I have yet to actually try Ironsworn, but Starforged I really like. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, this is my first space sci-fi RPG. So it's very different than what I'm used to, my normal like fantasy, the D&D-esque kind of stuff. But I really like it. It's very, very different, but very cool. I like how it's made for solo, so like all of the stuff is kind of built in. The moves, once you get them figured out, are pretty straightforward. I like on Foundry how it just tracks all of this stuff, how it's just like you click face danger and you click on the thing you want and it's done, or you can instantly make like planets and settlements with just a few clicks. I think it makes it a lot more welcoming to play, a lot more easier to set up. So now if I want to go back and play this, it's not like I have to go find a bunch of notepads, a bunch of paper, get my dice, find like, have PDFs and stuff everywhere. Like I really don't even need, I got the PDF, like once you kind of get going, you don't really need the PDF. Like it's all kind of just here. It's great. So I like Foundry a lot for this. I think it works really well. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this adventure today. Like I said, I really didn't know what I wanted to do besides going for a bit of a pacifist, a diplomat like route. But this is really cool. I like this character a lot. I'm definitely gonna play them more in the future. Figure out, what's going on between the Commonwealth and the Alliance. Maybe try to figure out this whole reactor situation and, dealing with the outcome of this. And I'm really curious if, I like where this went with the medical team supposedly being captured by raiders. Turns out it wasn't raiders, and they're just people that didn't like the Raiders and didn't like the Federation. So there was like, I liked that aspect. That was a cool little twist that I definitely did not expect when starting this, but I just kind of came up along the way. So I really like this game a lot just because of that. It has a lot of cool ways to add twists and turns into the game. One thing I also really like is I really like the legacy stuff, because once again, I'm gonna keep comparing D&D, but that's my other like most played RPG. But like in that, you pretty much have two ways to get XP. You either get it for killing monsters, or your DM just tells you level up at certain points. And one thing I like about this is you literally get XP for completing quests, for meeting people, and like forging relationships, and for discovering stuff, which I think is really cool. I kind of did something similar with D&D in the past, where when I would use like Mythic, Game Master Emulator with D&D, I would basically do something like you get a certain amount of XP for a thread. So then that way, if you're trying to do smaller things, you would get basically XP for like completing quests and going places and doing things. And it's not just like you get XP for killing stuff, because that's one thing I like about this, is that you have your 3 different legacy tracks that are kind of the 3 pillars of this game, and that you get, there's a way in game to get XP for doing the different things, which I like a lot. That it's not just like, it's not on me to think like, okay, that quest, like how much XP should I got, or like if I kill a guy, like a monster, like how much XP should they be worth. I like this system a lot. I like the progress tracks. I'm a big fan of like the changing ranks, and based on that, how many ticks you fill in, I think is a really smart way to do just different rankings. I like that a lot. The simple stats, I'm a big fan of this game. I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I'm really glad I stumbled across it, and I will definitely be playing more in the future. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I will also, real quick, tease out the next week's thing. Is this gonna pop up? Okay. So, hopefully, I mean, if you're watching this, hopefully you enjoyed this Starforged playthrough, because next week I am doing something very similar to Starforged. And if you're thinking, if I'm playing Ironsworn, you'd be close. I am not. I'm going to be playing this. I'm really excited about this. It's called Iron Valley. It is this fan-made like hack kind of. It's its own game based off of Ironsworn and Starforged, and it's basically, it's more or less, it's Animal Crossing in Ironsworn. Like it's a Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon type of game where you have progress tracks, and you can see here it takes a lot of stuff, use the action and the challenge roll, but it's there's no combat. There's you have you grow crops, and you got you got your spring crops, you have weather oracles, so it's very much I don't know, like an Animal Crossing, a Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley kind of fan-made game. And so I have yet to actually play it. I will definitely play it at least once or twice before next week to kind of have a flow of the game. But I mean, from what I've read through, it looks really fun. It looks very just chill. I'm really interested to see how everything, how the mechanics work with, how Ironsworn, mechanics work with a game like this. But I think it looks like a lot of fun. I will not be playing it digitally because there's no Foundry module. I'll probably just be playing with pen and paper and whatnot. But yeah, I'm very excited to be playing this. I'm really excited to give it a shot. So should be a lot of fun. Like I said, kind of similar to this, but obviously a little bit different. So tune in next week for that. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much gonna do it for this stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, a like would be greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, I will see you.